All right, we are live. We are so back with N League Season 3, now sponsored by Riichi City. I'm Jersey Mike, and I am here with my beautiful host and actual old man, Steve. You want to introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Steve. I'm not in New York City, but I've commentated for this before. It's a bunch of fun. I'm up in Boston. Y'all might know me as Zell online if you don't know me in person. Glad to be here.
Yep, and we got a good host of two games coming up. Season 3 rules should be on screen right now. Things to take note of is that this year we are turning on Kansai Chitoi, which means if you have four of the same kind of tiles in your hand, that counts as two pairs for Chitoi. As well as Renho Yakuman. And for people joining us for the first time, special New York rules are big Honba. So it's going to be instead of normal 300-point Honba, we are playing with 1500-point Honba. And we are playing with open Riichi. That is, if you want to declare Riichi, you can open your hand and you get one extra Han for that. Our first game is going to be. Let me pull that up real quick. I didn't actually have that on hand. It should be Team Yakuman being represented by Quincy. We have the Opie Dopes represented by Max, newcomer. The Emperor Penguins are being also being represented by newcomer Cody, and the Destroyers, last year's champions, represented by Josh. Now, Max, I hear, is a pretty good player. I don't know if you agree with that, Steve, but that's word on the block.
Yeah, he
Cody?
recently moved to New York and really needs no introduction to most people in the community, but we'll see how he does.
Yep, Cody is definitely a newcomer. I don't think he's gotten quite as around as other people, but I have played with him a lot. He's a very aggressive player, comes from Chinese Mahjong, and he's very feaster famine as well. He's either going to be very big top or he's busting out in a blaze of glory. Quincy, last year, for our returning viewers, you might know him as the least lucky player of last year. Excellent player, terrible luck last year. He did so poorly, and none of it was his fault. I can guarantee you that. And then Josh, I haven't played in recent years, but he should still be a pretty solid player if I remember correctly. Yep, and we are just waiting to get into our first game. We do have bounties this year. I don't think we have them posted anywhere in this channel, but we are. I'm really excited for someone to finally pick up that Yakuman bounty because this is our third season. We still haven't seen a single Yakuman, which is kind of crazy considering I've seen like four this month alone.
Is the Renho Yakuman new this season?
I believe that is new. Yes, Renho Yakuman is on, and it looks like we are getting to the game. First dealer is going to be Max, followed by Josh, Quincy, and then finally Cody. And as soon as the players are ready, we should be seeing some hands. Any second now. There we go. And there we go. Not too bad of a hand coming from Max. I would hope for a little more, but Max is a good player. He doesn't deserve a better hand. This is the hand he deserves. And yep, Shaw's gonna go out first. Guest win. Do not want that.
Yeah, I think we can reserve judgment for how bad or good that is until we know what the door is. We're still waiting for the it to show up on screen here.
Very true. We have some good pairs coming out for Quincy. Pair of nines and pair of South. The South is a
Oh,
guest win,
Cody.
but
Double
ooh.
Dora 3 with a pair of Hatsu. That looks really good.
Yeah, I think Cody definitely has the hand of this round, if anyone does. Josh picking up a nice Jankan fill there. Actually going for a two-sided. He has the 3-5-7-9, so he could fill either way there. Quincy filling in that Kanchan, very important. Cody should be getting rid of. I would have gone for pay there, but oh wait, he's the pay seat, so maybe not.
Yeah, Cody has the problem that he's probably got the slowest hand unless he can open it up. And calling before getting the Hatsu is a little bit of a risk.
Yep, and one of those Hatsu is lodged in Quincy's hand, and there goes. Cody should be calling that immediately. Yep, there we go. And either Pei or Haku should be coming out. No, he's gonna get rid of the Hatsu Sakagiri right there, getting rid of that
Yeah.
before it becomes a problem.
Haku's once cut already, and Pei is his seat, so Haku's probably pretty reasonable, but I can see getting rid of the other tile.
Yep, and Quincy kind of stuck with that Akadora. It's already the 7-so is already lodged into that 7-8-9 Mensu. So it's going to be a little hard to join. You would either need to draw the 4-so or the 6-so to get two-sided weight. Max picking up a pair or another pair of the Tumon there. And Josh fills out his Kanchan, still keeping the 5-mon there. Meanwhile, not much happening in other hands of particular note. But Cody really has to.
We're about
Oh,
in the same spot where we started. It's just kind of plugging right along here.
yeah. If he'd
That's
have
a
just
third
gotten rid
pair,
of
not
those,
very helpful.
yeah, if he'd gotten rid of those honors earlier, he would have had that 7-8 John Man in the Manzu. Would have been a lot better than his honors that he's just kind of waiting on.
Yeah, there
And
definitely
Quincy
be a
has,
certain point where he's like, I don't care about my safety because I have Dora 3 and I'm already open. So he could have definitely had a better shape
15.
there.
Oh, he picks up another Dora. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, I mean, surely now, yeah, you got to get rid of those honors. Meanwhile, Max not really being able to make any progress, so that's very good for everyone.
That is Tenpai.
Yep, Tempai on 3 pins for Josh.
Chooses to not reach yet, probably hoping for something a little bit better there.
And there's the call from Cody. Oh, he has the pair of 5 pin.
Yep.
And
Still Ishan 10, but Dora 4, so looking good.
yep, and there's a nice fill for Max. He now has 1 through 6 in hand. That's 2 Mensu for him.
That's
And
Sanshogu now if he chooses to take it, so waiting on 8 pin. There we see the Riichi.
and there's the Riichi. So Riichi Sanshoku, and if he pulls
But
one
he has Dora
Dora,
1 as well already, I think. Or, yeah, because he had the Pinzu. He already has one Dora.
yeah, so that's already Mangan for him.
It's kind of a little bit of a weak weight because Dora Suji is hard to cut just randomly.
Yep, and yeah, especially on Ipatsu. So it's going to be very hard for him, especially like he's not really getting any upgrade there. And that's another door for Quincy. He's kind of building that up. Kind of almost getting into a hand that you could actually fight the Riichi for.
So the only player here with not a whole lot to fight for is Max. Like that hand is just not. Apart from being dealer, there's not a lot to go with there.
Yeah, honestly, like the worst thing that happens there for you as a dealer is that the Riichi player sumos and you only lose 4,000 points. It gets you kind of behind, but it's definitely more acceptable than anything else. And that's going to be Tempai from Cody. He's going to throw out that Oitso for the 7-pin Tempai.
Tempai, yeah. And we just pointing out on our overlay that the weight for Josh is incorrect. It's 8 pin Hanchan. Thank you.
Yeah, and that 7-pin is going to be very hard for Cody being so close to the Dora. Granted, no one knows that he already has 4 of them. I think he only has 1 visible right now. Yeah.
I think all the players have an 8 pin, so there's only 1 left.
Yeah, and it looks like Max might be trying to get out of here, or maybe going for a Tanyao hand, but that's going to be a hand that you give up immediately.
Good fill. It's 4 so Kanchan for Quincy. 2 Tempais, 3 Tempais, 2 Riichis.
And this table has really said no to Yanmen.
See, Max is holding a pair of the 4 so that's not as likely. Oh, there's the sumo.
And there's a sumo for Josh. Riichi, Tsumo, Dora, Sanshoku. Should be 2,000, 4,000. Doesn't get any Ura. Doesn't really need it for this hand. It's Mangan's enough.
Although still, I mean, you're with a hand like that, it's basically a pinfu shape. The only duplicate tile is the pair, so you're about 30% to hit an Ura on that. So it might be a little bit disappointing to miss when it's probably the highest odds you can get.
True, true. But again, you can't be disappointed that you sumoed a Mongon, especially when you're taking most of your points from Max. Josh, the dealership already Onko of the three mon and pair of the East. That's going to be kind of huge. You could kind of just call and go for this hand. Quincy also has a Mensu pair 6-pin. Cody, that's a bit of a rough hand. I mean, you have the pair of the 8 so or the 8 mon.
That hand is equally rough for Max too. They're not looking too great.
Yep. So Destroyer's just kind of destroying, just getting blessings from the wall, but we'll see how it goes. It could change very quickly depending on how Quincy draws. Cody just hanging on that east. I think there are three tunes in three different players' hands, so that's going to be a bit of a worthless tile. There's the pawn coming from Josh, so Cody knows now that his tone is safe.
Josh is already Ishan 10 with double tone. Still haven't caught a
Yep.
look at what the Dora is yet.
Cody considering,
There
I
it is,
think for a second
three
there,
pin
whether or
Dora.
not he wants to keep that east as a safe tile. Red coming into Max's hands, but doesn't really join into anything. That fills out the Ryankan for Josh, making his Ishan 10 just that little bit better, because, that's exactly what the dealer needs when he has double tone Dora. I don't think we've actually seen the Dora yet, or at least we haven't stated it out
The
loud.
Dora is 3-pin. I don't believe Josh actually has a Dora. We'll see it when we go back around. Yeah, no Dora there.
Oh, no Dora there. But now he has a pair, so he's just gonna get rid of that Ryankan. That makes sense. Quincy just again not really getting lucky and being able to join anything up, but he sees the double tone. He might just try to be getting rid of safe tiles right now.
Oh, this is looking really good. No, it's still a Tushan 10,
Yep.
but
2-3-4 Sanshoku on the table. Meanwhile, Max is really trying to make anything happen with those Dora. That 3-pin being one of his favorite tiles, he really wants that 3-pin weight.
that's kind of an unwelcome draw almost there because it eats up your head. But I think one of the Monzu kind of have to
I
go.
mean, he has that other head with the Tuso, so he could kind of just keep it around.
He
It's
could.
really the 4-7 Suji that's in his hand that's kind of making that hand rough.
Yeah, he decided to keep both floaters for like maximum acceptance across all the Manzu and get rid of the extra 6 there, which works as well.
And that's a good fill for the pinch on there for Max. Still not the best of hands, but it's at least something you could work with. Oh, and there's the Katagiri coming from Quincy. Not that I think that's any great strategic value to just Katagiri there versus Tsumogiri, but
Yeah, I don't think you're really saying much. Like, oh, you said I maybe bluffing. I made a little bit of progress, but you're up against a dealer with open double tone that probably isn't going to go anywhere anyway, and you're probably going to Riichi against it, and so on.
yep, but he still manages to join that 7-mon to the 8-mon, so now you have that Ryanmin weight as well as the Kanchan. So I believe that's Ishanten from Quincy.
Cody also Ishanta.
Yeah. Oh, and Max might be getting into an Itsu, but Josh is going to quickly call that tile, and he is Tempai for 4-7-mon. And that's an awkward tile. You can't really keep that one. And
There's 4-7
oh,
pin.
4-7 pin. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's double ton for Josh. That should be 2,900, I believe.
Yep, that sounds right. No extra anything there to make it more than just a 230 dealer hand.
Yep, that coming out from Quincy if the scoreboard is correct. And that puts our first big Homba on the table. So, reminder to folks at home, big Homba, 1,500 points. So, 1,500 points coming out from the next player to lose points.
Now that doesn't inspire quite a bunch of confidence there. Not a pretty slow hand for Josh to start with.
Yep, Quincy immediately filling in that Kanchan there though. And Cody might be able to actually just go for a Hoitsu, maybe even Chinsu if the honors don't come in proper.
And Max starting with okay shapes, but two of the Dora 7-pin.
Yeah, that's just a really rough hand.
It's pretty sad indeed.
I mean, you do have the highest score on the table, so you don't really need a great hand. So you might just be looking to, pass the dealership off to the next player with them having to inherit the big Homba.
That helps quite a bit. Cody picked up a second West. He is West seat right now, so West Tonitsu is on the table in perfectly reasonable value, especially with the Homba.
Yep, and that's a nice penchant fill for Josh. He now has the 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 mon. And that Ranman kind of messes up your dreams. You could kind of, yeah, you could just cut the 7 mon, hope you could draw more Pinzu down the line to get rid of your Pinzu.
That one pin cut there kind of tells me that Max might be having some designs to open this hand for Tanya Dora 2 as well.
Yep. Another nice Kanchan fill for Quincy.
You can delay this decision one more turn by cutting the Hatsu, or yep.
Yep, and there out it goes.
Nice draw.
And I don't believe we've seen any Shah in anyone's hand, so that's still in play. So if he draws that Shah himself, he might just get rid of the Ryanman just straight out. Not that he's hurting for points. He's in a very narrow second, and fourth isn't exactly that far behind.
The
The
backfire green
backfire.
would have been very good in this case, but you're not going to
Unfortunate.
draw that.
And there's another Dora for Josh. Suddenly his hand's looking valuable, but still not great.
The Dora 7-pin.
Oh God, I keep messing myself up. I always keep thinking that that's the door indicator.
Nope, you see the indicator there in front of Max. He's got two. Max has two. This is Ishan 10, callable for Tanya Dora 2.
And Josh still spinning his wheels. Ooh, good door pickup for Quincy. He might keep the. Yep, there he goes. He's gonna keep that Yonrenkai. That's a pretty flexible shape. He could get into a better Pinfu-ish hand if he draws one of the Monzu. And there goes Max calling his hand.
7-pin 5-so Shabo Tempai. Oh, and that was a 5-so come out right away. So Max will pick up Tanya Dora 2 for 39, and plus the one Homba makes 54.
Yep, and that's definitely a good pickup. Puts him in second above Cody, but again, it's still a close game between second and fourth. One Mondora, we don't see it in Quincy's hand, but we do see the double tone pair there, as well as pair Shaw.
Wow, this looks incredibly fast.
Wow, yep, this is the hand to look out for.
It's got a possible 5-6-7 Sanshoku as well, or 6-7-8, depending on what comes in when.
Cody's hand also not looking that bad. Just kind of got to get rid of those guest wins and hope that something works out with your floaters, but it's still not a bad hand. And Max's hand also, pair Hatsu. So everyone has fast hands here. Quincy filling out the gunman there. And suddenly he's turned to Ishanten for a very callable hand if that tone comes out anytime.
The Shah is now dead, though, so if he fills the Ryanman and chooses to Riichi, it's only a tone wait. As Cody has already dropped both the other Shah on the first two turns.
Yep, and there's an Anko from Max with the red. Oh, and there's the tone. Quincy has to call that, right? Yeah, absolutely. He cannot let that one go. Just has to
Yeah,
cut.
just take the
Yep.
10 pie. If you draw a 7 pin, you've got a Sanshoku chance for three hunks. He's already double tone. Perfectly reasonable.
And Max fills out another Yanmin, keeping that 4 pin around just in case he turns into Sanmen-chan.
It's
And
5-8,
that's a
so
5-8 so Tenpai for Quincy.
Cody is 5-8 so as well. They're both Tenpai on the same
Yep.
weight.
And I do believe double Ron should be on. Or no. That's incorrect. Hang on. Let me consult the rules that I hardly ever read. I have no idea where the rules are.
I believe Double Ron is on, but I can't tell you for certain.
Yeah, neither can I. And Josh holding both the 5 and the 8, so if he wants to draw or cut out that Mensu into just a 3-shape block, he will deal in. And Cody, does he? Okay. I really wanted to see the Tonki there. It would have been very funny. Max upgrading his Kanchan
That
into a
3 so
Janmen.
probably just saved Josh from dealing in.
Oh yeah, that is definitely huge. Unless
No,
no, he's
no,
gonna cut the
there,
Kanchan
there are there are
first.
other tiles that are way better to
Yep.
cut.
Yep. I mean, can you blame me wanting to see the destroyers go down?
They were last season's big winner, so like I said,
They-
you're
look,
actually you're on a
look,
team. I'm
they
not.
can't get lucky 2 seasons in a row, right? Right?
Oh, there's this. There's oh, that's the wrong person.
That's the
Cody draws
wrong.
the 7. I was like, that's the Sancho upgrade. Wait a minute, wrong hand.
Yep. Well, there's the fill for Josh. I imagine. Oh no, he's gonna deal in. Oh, I would have cut the Penchan there. You just kept the Kanchan. You're supposed to keep the Kanchan there, Josh. Where's basic principles?
Wait, what are we looking at here? We're looking at was it would look like I think it was a Nomi and a Tuhan. So not a terribly expensive double Ron, all things considered.
Yeah, and Quincy's gonna continue his dealership with one large Homba.
Maybe head bump is on. I only saw 1 point exchange in the overlay.
No, I see it in the chat. 1,000 points to Cody and 29 to Quincy. So you're exactly right. 2 Han and 1 Han.
Yeah, I believe Cody there just had a either Yakuhai Nomi or Tanyao Nomi. I didn't really pay attention to what his first call was. I think everyone had a Yakuhai.
I believe it was Hatsunomi.
Dora is non this time.
Ooh.
My favorite.
Yep, and I believe I saw a non in Josh's hand, but it's just floating and it doesn't really do much for him. I imagine if things get a little bit more, if his hand improves in other areas, we're going to see that non come out of his hand. But Steve is secretly rooting for him to Tonki on it, because of course he is.
Always, always. Max cuts the 1 there. No believing in Sanchoku. It's so distant.
All right,
Interesting.
and Cody now pairs up the Haku.
And we just saw Quincy draw a Haku and hold it, so
Yep, so you kind of have to figure out what honor floater that he wants to cut out. It's going to be the 1 Mon. And Quincy calls the tune. Likely gonna cut out that Haku and give it over. Nope, it's gonna be the 7 so instead. Bit of a Sakagiri over there. Cody fills out
Great,
his
great fill.
Janman,
It's almost
and he's
even.
just kind of like stuck with that really awful shape in the 8-9 Penchon.
I was thinking there, it's almost probably time to part with Hatsu. I mean, you can go for one Han here, and it's not terrible because there's a Homba, so it makes it 2600.
Yep. And there goes the Dora from Josh's hand. He still has the Akka in his hand, and he just joined it with the 3-so, so it's the 3-5 red. Oh, and there's the call from Cody for Haku.
It's headless. Two floaters can make a better Ryanmen block than that
Yeah, I mean,
crappy
the real hope
Penchon.
is that you pair up the 8 or 9 mon so that you could just get rid of that Penchon and then keep the 5 mon floater. Quincy, on the other hand, has 3 heads. But I think at this point he's just kind of calling anything.
It's interesting. I think with the Akka in play, you might want to just keep the 5 mon and drop one. I don't see what he dropped, but
That was the
he dropped
5
the 5
mon.
and it got pwned. Okay.
All right.
Quincy's got a pretty wide hand there since he already called Yakuhai. I mean, of course, he wants the toy if possible.
That Toto is going to be a bit hard. I believe it was 6-7 pin pairs that he had, and we see quite a number of 6 pins
It
and
was
other
it
people's
was it was 7-7-8.
7-8. Oh, okay,
He
that's a
can
little
he
better.
can he can do the kind of trick of chi 6 or 9 and then wait on 6-9.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I was in his position, I would rather take the Toto. You're a bit down on points, and you really want to run that score up early, just so you don't have to fight as much towards the end of the game.
He is dealer with an Akadora though, so
Yeah, but with that Akadora, you have Yakuhai,
Dora 1.
Dora 1, so that's Mongon. That puts him up at 40,000 points with the Homba, so that's a pretty sizable lead, even with big Homba,
But he
as
is
long
going to
as you
go for
don't
the
deal in.
chi.
But no, he's going to Chi for Tenpai. 6-9 pin for Yakuhai Dora 1. I believe that's Ishan 10 from Max.
Josh also Ishan 10.
All right, so quick check. So one is in his calls, one is in Cody's hand here. We see one in Max.
And Josh doesn't have any,
So
so
that means
that's
there's
an excellent
5 out
fill.
there. And Josh does fill in that
That's
Kanchan there. He's gonna let the door go. Ooh.
the hand is headless at the moment. I don't know what's. I guess it'd be
I
probably
think
very
I think
unlikely to
he's trying
draw
to
that.
fold.
It's the commentator's angle here, where you just want to push everything because it's not your
Oh
points.
yeah, because I don't see anything else in anyone else's hands.
Yeah, I see all the hands and it's not my points.
Yeah, exactly.
See, that would have been 10 pi here if he held the red 5. I don't know I can't tell what's scary about the 9 on the board. I know a number of 8s have been discarded.
Yep, and there's the sumo from Quincy. That's going to be, I believe, 1,500 all with Homba.
Yes, that's right.
All right, we have a tight game here in East 3-2. Quincy
Pretty good
finally
starting hand.
overcome his little curse here. His hand looking not too shabby, definitely a little bit wanting, but it's an easy first cut for pay.
I was about to say, wait until you see everybody else's hand, because Quincy's hand looked perfectly fine to me at a glance, and it seems to be the fastest.
I mean, yeah, when everyone's hands kind of bad, then
The
yeah.
Dora is 8-pin. I don't think we saw any. Oh my gosh, that's an excellent draw. I don't think we saw any 8-pin in anybody's hand, but we'll review that.
No, I don't recall any either. Cody's hand also looking very slow there. This seems to be uh Quincy's hand. I think not only does he have the best Shanten, it's pretty wide as well. Especially filling in that Kanchan there.
It's just those that 1-3 kanchan is the bottleneck here. And
Oh, Andres is doing so good at table two. Oh, so happy. Surely nothing bad is gonna happen, right?
it's they're in South 1, so that game is moving a lot quicker than this one.
I mean, I find that to be the case no matter what, just because the players here are playing to the camera, so they are slowing down their play a lot, which annoys me a lot as someone who likes to play fast, and it's probably annoying Quincy and Cody as well. I know they also like to play fast unless they have big decisions to make.
Good draw there for Cody. Pretty good draw for Max, but I'm just not sure what you make of this hand. It looks like Riichi Nomi.
I think you cut the 6-0 here, and then as Sakigiri, then the 2-pin you could discard into Yurichi. It's going to be a little bit safer. The bigger problem here is that you don't really have a pair if you consider the 1-3-3-5 as two separate kanchan.
Honestly, you don't want it to be a pair. You want the 2s to be a pair because you can pick up the 8-pin Dora now in your newly crafted Sun Menshan if you just put the 2s aside. Like, they're the head.
Yeah, but then that means you have to try and figure out which kanchan is going to be the one to fill.
Well, he's
Which
banking on not drawing a 2-mon.
which I guess is reasonable. I see at least one in Cody's discards. And then yeah, I see one in Josh's as well.
I
So
agree with that cut because you can't really drop the 1-3 so here, and if you do pick up like some other block around 6-0 or a 4-0 or even another 3, you can open this for Tanyao if you want to. There's 2 Homba, so that like it's just a slight speed
yeah,
priority.
I mean the real loss there is that you lose out on the 1-2-3 Sanshoku if you happen to draw the one, and then you could use the 1-4-7 as a San Menchan pair. Wait. But given that there are at least two mons out already, you can't really bank on that.
Unco.
I believe that's Ishan 10 for Max. If he keeps the 4-pin as his pair, then
Now we see. Okay, we see the 4 pickup, but he's going to keep the 2 Kanchans in Sozu. I think this is
Cody's hand is kind of a mess right
it's
now.
it's it's
It
six
has
it's
value.
six
It has
blocks.
value. Like I don't wanna like shit on it too much. It
I
has
mean,
value.
it's
It's
the
just
problem is it's 6 blocks, and I think I would have just said goodbye to the Penchon there instead of whatever he cut. That's 10 pi for Quincy.
that's Tempai. It's I mean, you could wait a one turn to try and call or wait for the Tanyao, but you're also dealer and it's turn 8.
Okay, he's not going to take it at all. I'm okay with that actually here. I mean, dealer can just do what about anything they want, and it's fine. But there's a lot of value to be had in not taking that 10 pi.
Yep,
So
and
uses
Max
its on
makes
Unco now.
another pair finally. It also means that you're going to be guaranteed at least a two-sided weight. The biggest backfire is if you draw the two so back. It's still Sun Menchan, but you are Furry 10. So I imagine if that does
You can
happen,
draw a 7-mon with that hand, and you also have a Kanchan, but it will just be Tanyao.
yeah.
Yeah, because 7-mon is 10 pi. Like looks like 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mon is tenpai, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 so is tenpai there. Something along those lines.
Yeah. Meanwhile, everyone else seems to be spinning their hands. Quincy just trying to get into that good tempai that he wants. Oh no, there's the backfire.
It's a backfire from 6 turns ago. It's
Yeah, but it's the
really they're
valuable backfire.
too bent up over.
Yeah, and it just kind of has to go out at this point.
Okay, now we need to get rid of a block. Is that Penchon finally gonna go? Okay, I was
There
hoping that
it goes.
Penchon would
There
go.
it goes.
Everybody's just stuck. Either 2 Shanten or E Shanten. Quincy with
Oh
another 2.
no, Quincy getting the 2 times he needed. Oh, that's so sad.
With Cody, that's like efficiency you don't want because you can accept another 4, but then you have to cut the Aka. Max finally tenpai on 3 pin. It's his favorite tile.
Yep, there it goes.
We see
And
Riichi
Quincy could
Nomi.
take that. Yeah, Quincy could also take that Riichi Nomi for the 2 so. We just saw 2 of them go out. I believe 2 of them go out. My memory's not the best.
At least they went out or they're held, because I remember somebody having more than 1.
Yeah, I believe Josh has Onkos with, or at least Drew Onko. Yep, and out it
hang on
goes.
to the same shape. Yeah, Cody has an Unko.
Yeah, if he took that 2 so Tempai, then his hand is dead. So I guess good read or good fold.
Any of those 3 pins are left. I haven't really been
I
paying attention to
don't
that.
know if I see any.
There's 1 in Quincy's hand.
One in Quincy's hand, but I don't think I've seen any in the discards.
And 1 in Cody's hand. So there are 2 left. I don't
You
believe he has
know,
been cut.
2 is all you need.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there's it is in
He's not gonna
Quincy's
throw it.
hand.
Okay, he's gonna go around. I think that's probably the end for a tenpai bid though. There's
Yeah.
there's all of
There's
them.
the last one. All right, Max's hand is officially dead.
Unless it gets cut, because I
It's
don't.
yeah, it's up to the other players to recognize that. Very unfortunate for Cody too. He kind of needs these points.
It's still a really close game, and it's East 3. And if this goes to Ryukyoku, there'll be 3 Homba in the next hand. So
Yeah, but also if he gets those Homba, then
all
that
right,
means
since
there's
he's
no
taking
Homba.
tenpai, is he gonna deal in? No, he's gonna stay 3 pin Tunky. It's dead, but at least he
Dead,
doesn't
but
deal
it's
in.
Senpai. It's gonna be a disaster if he draws that 8 pin because that means he gets rid of the 3 pin and deals into Max.
That is not tenpai yet.
No, but that's pretty close.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Can take a Sanmen. It's free 10 though, so
It's
it might be the reason to not take it.
Oh, but yeah, but it's also Sanmen, which might be the reason to take it. Quincy's gonna have a good long think about this one, I know. He might just also just
The question is, does the
completely
2
fold
look
out.
safe? Does the 2 look safe at all? I don't.
Yeah, that's
think
what
it
I'm saying.
does.
Like he might just completely fold out and just reject this tempai entirely. Yep. He's out. And Cody, backfire on that Penchon cut. I don't know why you told him to cut that. He obviously would have drawn the 7 mon.
He would have had to deal in getting there. I guess not. He could have cut the 6 mon, which 6 pin, which looks terrible for an Ipeiko shape of some sort.
Oh, Josh
Gets tenpai 2-5
that's
2-5 for Tiny Outdoor 3.
Look, his tempai is way more
That
alive.
is back into tenpai if you can not cut that.
I mean, yeah, that deals right into Josh's
Yeah, unfortunate.
gun. Ooh, that does not feel good.
It's going to be Tanyadora 4. It doesn't really matter. It's going to be 11,000 points with a Homba.
11,000 points and also maxes Riichi stick. So that's basically just your Mongon getting upgraded to Hanuman right there. 9 Pindora,
Looks like
none
a
in
flush.
Cody's hand.
Looks like a Manzu Chinitsu to me. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
the Groundman is throwing it a little bit. But that pair of South.
This looks like a flush to me.
Oh, yep. You just cut the 2-3. That way you don't have to cut the Pinzu early and keep your flush a little more hidden, but that's a very committal move.
Looks like a flush to me. Everyone's got a flush.
Everyone's got a flush.
Not this. This is too normal. Quincy's got a fairly normal hand. One Dora eats two chance.
Oh, that's a flush. Just cut the Sozu right now. Cody, come on. Man up. Get the points. No? Okay, fine. Yep,
That's an excellent.
That's
Could this
flush.
be
That's
Rian
flush.
Peiko? This is Chanto Rian Peiko Hoitsu Ishanten. That's what that is.
Disgusting. That's disgusting. Destroyers don't need those points. They just got 12,000 points. Why do they need that?
It's kind of hype though. There's no twos.
It is. It would be more hype. It would be
no
more hype
Tusos
if
left
it
to
wasn't
have right
destroyers.
now.
The plan is to sink the ship.
There are no Tusos left to have. I think they're all held. If we go around one more time, we can verify that. So this is not happening. At least not the Rian Peiko. There's one.
I mean, if Cody wants to go for his flush, that Tuso comes out eventually.
I mean, if it comes out now, it's fine.
I mean, if you're cutting those shapes, the 3-so comes out first. Yeah, you want to cut outside in.
There's the other two twos.
Or inside out.
If Josh draws a 1-so right now, this could be a disaster, but otherwise it's probably fine. Wrong one.
Ooh. So I think, if by my count, I think there's one 2-so left in the wall.
And Cody's gonna pull in that, and no, there's no 2-sos. I believe Max is holding a pair, and one is in Josh's hand already.
Right, one is in Josh's
hand. Max
hand.
just
right.
called it. So now,
all right, Ron
Josh sees that there's no 2s left, so the Rian Peiko dream is gone.
I mean, you still hang on to that shape for a little bit because you could get, the other side with the 4-so. And
you can even pick up a 5. Like, who's complaining with Menhoni Peiko Tenpai? Another chi here.
Yep, really, really committing to that flush.
A little bit more efficient to chi with the 9, I think. Oh,
and there's that 5. He's going to
Tenpai on the 4, Dama for
Menhon, Dora, Ipeiko. That is
Ipeiko
Dora already.
Yep. Nice, chance at Itsu here. There's Tenpai, 5 Manchun.
And quick inventory. I think there's one, maybe 2 4-sos in people's hands. So that means there's 2 4-sos for Josh. I mean, that's a little bit disappointing to pick up, but like considering you have Honitsu,
Max is gonna take it.
Yeah, of course he's gonna take it. It's red.
I love it. I mean, it doesn't progress the hand at all, but gosh, now it has a chance at Itsu if you cut the 3.
Yep, and
so that's disgusting.
4-7.
Uh-oh.
And Quincy. Surely Quincy recognizes the flush happening, and he's going to try and bail out, right?
Okay, well, he did not drop it just immediately. Because now on a 4, that's quite a lot.
And even if he doesn't recognize the Honitsu happening in Josh's hand, like the Forso is still kind of good to keep because you can upgrade that to the Yanmen or any Peiko, for example. Just shouting out examples.
Yeah. That's too many tiles in Sozu.
Too many tiles, but you
You
also
got the
kind of got to
3.
get rid of that 3-mon. But also, you can't get rid of that 3-mon because there's another Honitsu on the
Well,
table.
cutting the 3 is not that. I mean, keeping the 3 is not particularly helpful because you know the 2 is dead. It's just more of a safety level assessment. Actually, you don't know the 2 is dead. You can see 3 of them. Max, I believe, honed the 2 so earlier, and the other one is in Cody's hand, or not Cody, in Josh's hand. I don't know how many times West has been cut, so that might look nasty against the Honitsu threat.
I don't know if it has, but even if you do see it cut once, it's still a scary tile.
Yeah, now everyone is Max and Quincy both holding a West.
And
One
yeah,
is
it doesn't look like there are any shot cut. So yeah,
there is one. I saw it in the pond just a bit ago. I think it's is it in Max's pond? Yeah, there it is. That's 10 pi, 4-7 as well. I don't think we're going to see another double run here, though. It looks just too dangerous.
but it would be so funny if it did. Oh, yeah. I mean,
It's a con.
if you're
Eudora.
Quincy,
Oh,
you just
oh no.
oh no,
Eudora is
that's
5. Everyone's going to push now. Well, Cody's definitely
okay.
pushing.
Oh my god, that has changed the dynamics of everything.
So it's a Honitsu Dora 3 at the moment,
Yeah,
I
I think
believe.
the only one not directly like benefited by that is Josh, but he's already sitting on Menhon Ipeko.
Yeah, with an Itsu Takame. I believe Force Otsumo here is a Baimon.
That 8-so kind of looking bad though. Even if you do have all the 7-so in your hand. Oh, I,
Quincy is finding
Quincy, you
all the
kind of
bad
got to
tiles
fold.
here.
You're kind of out of this. Well, I guess not. If you draw the 6-so, then that's your pair. So you're not completely out, but there's
Oh, Max
the
found the
little
last
con.
one, and if he watches this later, he's going to be very happy to win this. He got 3 Han out of it thanks to the con, and I don't know if he had any idea what everybody else is sitting on.
Yeah, so that should be, yep, 4,000, 1,000, 2,000. And Max starting off strong with Onko of the 1-pin. That's going to be quite a bit of foo coming his way.
I'm still bummed that we didn't get Manhon, Rianpeiko, Chanta, but oh, what is
I
this? What is
mean,
this now?
the chances though.
Quincy with 2 Akadora off the bat. That's not bad.
Akadora, and he could easily just cut his way into Tanya Dora 2.
This looks like a Cheeto or something to me. I don't know. This is
No, no, no. You believe in the Kokshi.
well, you don't cut that tile if you want to believe in Kokshi either.
No, it's all part of his grand plan. Just trust.
Josh is like, I don't want this pen shot. I have enough blocks, which is true. He does.
Quincy getting more G high that he doesn't want if he wants that Tanyao. Which, yeah, I mean, with the Yonkan centered around the Aka, that's
Also a three,
kind
four,
of
five Sanshoku here, so you don't necessarily need the Tanyao if you can make that happen. You can just use the eight mon to finish the hand.
and yeah, Max a little unsure of what he wanted to cut there.
Max was cutting the blocked from the inside out, like safety dictates. But then he probably thought the Akadora exists, so he changed his mind.
I mean, if you draw the Alcador, you could just take the 5/7 Mon Kanchan.
A nice draw. Kind of the Sanchoku's kind of losing steam here, but
No, but you still take Tanya Dora.
Dora 2 is totally fine. Now this Chitoy is actually Cody is north as well, so
Yeah,
could
so
do
he
something
has,
like
has
north south
time.
toy toy or
Uh,
something.
I would have kept that one Mon just in case that you get the Chitoy
Chitoy.
there.
It is Dora, so it's like the greedy play to hold it.
And that Tanya's starting to look pretty good.
It's callable. Uncle for Cody. Max just takes Sumo Nomi. I didn't realize he was Tenpai.
Yeah, neither did I. That's just 400, 700 with the foo. Yeah.
He's dealer, 700 all.
Oh, 700 all, yeah.
I believe that's 7. Yeah, Uncle
Yeah,
and,
yeah, it's
two for the weight, two for the sumo
yeah.
is enough. Oh, Samakadora. Honestly, not bad.
Two Alcadora.
A little. There's just not
I,
enough blocks yet. Is all I can say about
yeah,
it.
I
But it's
see
nice.
Max also has the same habit of me of just not sorting your hand before your first discard as dealer, unless like your shapes are like, you know,
This
big.
is fast. This looks like Riichi Nomi, but it's fast unless you want to keep the non. I would even throw the non away here in double South Sea with shapes like that. Dora is north.
One in Quincy's hand. And none in Cody's, which is kind of disappointing to see, but also that wasn't the Anko of the 8-pin. But he does have pair of Chun, so that's gonna make his hand at least fast. But I mean if you're Cody in
Not
South
faster
1,
than this.
oh yeah,
That's a little bit of a
that's
strange efficiency play
disgusting.
there. Definitely throwing from the middle of that Nakabukure would have been faster and take a perfect Tishan
Yeah.
10.
Cody actually rejects calling Pon on the tune there, and which I mean it is the first one, and you kind of do need to make up quite a bit of points.
I mean, there's a Homba on the table, and not every hand can be closed. That's Tenpai, but now it's a Shabo when it could have been a Ryanmen. Still taking it. 8. So Shabo? Okay. Well, it has the benefit of being like Sotogawa.
Yeah, and it is early, so put as dealer, it puts quite a bit of pressure on the table. Or no, not as dealer.
Nobody
Sorry, that was
nobody's gonna be trusting Sotogawa even on the Ipatsu turn though. Quincy's got a pretty loose 8 that we might see depending on what he decides to throw.
and Cody gonna just drop that nice safe tune that he saw earlier.
I mean, none of these hands look particularly great.
Yeah,
Only Max has a
only Max
has a
really
good
wants to
hand.
fight, and that's another door for him. And he definitely doesn't want to cut that without seeing any on the table.
Oh, Khan. Now this could be
On.
something.
Oh.
I don't see what the Dora is yet. Nope. New Dora is 9 pin, and everybody just cut all of those.
A little disappointing. I believe Josh's weight was 8, so 9 mon.
Yes, that's right.
All right, so we got one in Quincy's hand, and definitely none were cut on the table that early. Oh, there's another door. That's really causing a lot of pressure in other people's hands to just fold so fast.
Well, now it's kind of the Uradora chance as well is a reason to fold.
Yeah. Quincy just kind of out of tiles to fold with. I guess you could just do Hatsu Hatsu, but that still looks pretty bad for a turn 3 Riichi.
It's like one of those you have really no idea what to throw here. And Josh isn't making it very easy with his
No,
draws.
absolutely not. Just kind of the reason why you take those early Riichis, but like, oh, yeah, and you are in the lead, so you don't really need points that badly. So
Yeah,
Riichi,
I'm assuming Max is now pushing. He filled the Kanchan. That's the bottleneck. He's now, I think it's Ryan Men on one section and Kutsuki in the other for his Dora 2 Tenpai, or Ishan 10 at the moment.
Odie somehow making his way back into Cheetoy.
It is not yet Tenpai. He's it's Suji to the 5 though, but it's an early reach. And you know the Aka's gone. It's a matter.
Oh,
I
brave,
wonder why
very brave Dora cut.
he might be keeping it because he wants to try to wait around it. It's just more efficient than the Dora.
And Quincy will be all too happy to get rid of that tile as well. Cody also going to just drop Dora, so one Dora is dead, but the Urador is really what's scaring people still.
Yeah, because both Dora are pretty much dead right now. To the other table in all last, Andres way ahead with 57,000.
Yeah, we cheer.
I guess that is your team. That's slightly more efficient if you want to cut the 8. It is, as I said, it is Suji, and you see, I think, 2 or 3 7s at this point. He's still keeping out of that 8. I don't know what he sees that I don't.
I mean, it is kind of scary. Oh, yeah, but next turn it
now
goes
it's
out.
5.
Yep.
I don't know how good Sozu look either, but oh gosh.
Oh.
This is
And
just
now,
I wonder if it's
yep,
open.
out it goes. He's going to call Riichi.
No open, I guess, because the 6-9 is so. I mean, it's hard to think that Josh would be waiting on it. Anyway, 6-9 Mon, Riichi for Max.
And that's a spooky tile to draw on someone else's Riichi.
Trying to figure out how many are left. Cody's got 2 of them.
Yep.
Josh has 3
Josh
of them.
has, yeah.
And it cut one earlier as well. There's the minimum of 2 left.
Definitely doesn't look great. I mean, Cody, you just got to cut the pay, right? It's the safest style you got.
And the 8-so is, I don't know where the 8-sos are. I haven't really looked for them. One there. There's another
And
9.
Quincy's got a good fold path. The one pin just got cut, and he's got
I think the
Anko.
weight is dead. There might be an 8-so left in the wall, and that's it.
Yeah, I think Josh's is also dead.
I believe it is. I think the 8-sos are held. I'm not sure. There might be one in the wall.
And that's going to be Dukoku. 2 Tenpai, 1 for Josh, 1 for Max. They get a net of 500 points because they lose the Riichi 6 for now. But it does put another home on the table.
Yeah,
which
now there is 5,000 points in the center for the self.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a scary amount of points to just be in the middle like that during a South 1, especially one this close. Like Josh seems like he's pretty far ahead, but like
Max has 3 pairs and one of them is Haku off the deal, which is just excellent for running down those points in the middle.
Yeah.
And a Rian Man. Pretty good shape.
Yeah, as I was saying, like Josh looks like he's in a pretty good lead right now, but like even if Cody wins the hand, it can easily just turn in the next round.
Well, Max immediately pawns that, and no questions asked. So with the points in the middle, just go.
Josh, decent hand. I think you just get rid of the Hatsu here, but like it's not something that it's definitely going to be a reaching Nomi hand. Not what you want to do when there's 5,000 points in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, would you reach? The question is, would you Riichi Nomi normally if it was a good weight, and if 5,000 points extra just it makes it even more worth it. That's an excellent
Oh,
fill.
that's a
Let's see,
great fill though.
Shanten.
He could now go for maybe a pin fu if he gets the 4 and 6 pin. Kind of has to be a bit lucky for that, obviously, but
Was that Ishanten or was that still two Shanten? I thought it
I
was
think that's still
Ishanten.
two shunted. He
I
still
must
needs
have misread it.
he needs 2 and 4 pin in order to get pin fu. And then he could just dama for the 5,000 points in the middle.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. He's going to take a Tanyao angle, though it's more callable. That's a good fill as well, but this is just a little bit on the slow side.
Yeah, these are not the hands that you want when with 5,000 points. I think Max is the only hand that you want when like the pool when the pot is just this big.
That's Dora, whether he'll just throw it away or not. Yep. Okay. I kind of
Yeah,
agree
I
with this.
mean,
Speed it up. Like don't get
yeah,
bogged
speed it
down.
up. Like unless you get Onko, it's really not worth hanging on to.
I mean, of course,
Yeah,
you can backfire and draw a 7 on the next turn. You're sad, but that's same can be said
sure,
about
but
any
like that
tile.
Dora adds 1,000 points to your hand essentially when there's 5,000. That when just winning gets you, you know.
Yeah, I think for viewers watching that aren't used to big Homba, the other thing to consider when everybody's pushing everything because the amount of points in the middle is when you deal in, you end up paying 3,000 more here. So it's not like those hands where there's what like what's an example where there's like 4 Riichi sticks in the middle and everyone's pushing because there's one Homba or 2 Homba, and it's 600 points. You're paying 3,000 more when you deal in.
Yeah, half the points in the middle come out of your pocket if you deal in. It's kind of bad, but also you still want it. And there goes Josh. He really wants this. He really wants this. He's is that Ishanten with
Yes,
Yangkan?
it's 379 357 Pinmyon Con in the 2-3 so Shabo shape.
And there's a door for Cody. Definitely an upgrade for that 9 so. But he still has that 2/9 mon that's gonna slow down his hand.
Max is taking a pun
Max,
here, and it widens his avenues to Tenpai, but it's not actually a Tenpai call.
no, and I don't think he's getting that 3 so.
I
There's
think that's part of the reason he called the poem is that he doesn't want that Tenshon anyway.
yeah. So that's Tenpai on what was it? He had 7, 8 pin, 1, 2 so 6, 7, 8, 9 pin or 1, 2, 3 so. Which is a pretty good Ishanten to be in. And a bit of backfire. You don't get to wait on that door, but I don't think you're really realistically getting there.
That's very awkward. You could cut the
Oh yeah,
3 here instead of the 4
yeah,
as an option.
yeah. I think that's the most efficient cut. You get the yeah. It's like Men isn't the best of shapes, but like when you could call anything, like you want to call anything.
Especially in this particular rule set in the current point situation. If you were to draw the Akka 5 now, it's gonna be like a mess, a very messy hand. I mean, he's just gonna have to throw it away, but it's be like the saddest backfire. Is that better than the Panchon? I believe it is, yes.
Yep.
And that will give Josh 10 pi. I don't know what side he'll take. I don't know what's more live on the board. He's gonna take the 4. Doesn't matter which way he cuts, it's Nakasuji. Quincy is now Ishan 10.
Yep. And Cody Does he have too many blocks again? 1, 2, 3, 4,
Not
5.
really.
No.
He just doesn't need this 6 at all. It's a matter of whether he thinks it's dangerous because Josh called and cut a 7, and he clearly does. That's 10 pi, 6-9 pin.
And that tune's looking a bit rough. I don't believe anyone's cut or called
Quincy
tune
has a
yet.
pair of tune. He probably will call it too because it would make him 10 pi. No, it won't. He did. No, he
No.
doesn't. He doesn't have a. That 6 is going to deal in if he cuts it. The 3 won't, surprisingly, but you don't know
But
him
does
doesn't
he
have the
know
table.
that?
But if you're going to push it, you're just going to keep Yan Men, most likely here.
Yeah, but
It's a
I mean,
matter
you
of-
could cut the 8 so if you're really that concerned, but I don't think that looks all that much better either.
It's next to the door. No, he's choosing the tune.
Well, they did just see it come out.
Yeah, I didn't even know. That's not surprising. That's just pure safety. There's the 9. That'll be Ron from Max. Haku Nomi, but that's
Yep.
still
We'll be dealing in for 4,000
500
points out from him
points
and
in total.
2,000 on the table for Max.
Now there's 4,500 in the middle because the Riichi sticks are gone. But now, like we said before, the important thing to remember is if you deal in, you're just paying 4,500 more.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're in Quincy or Cody's in position right now, you kind of want those points anyway.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's of course a good reason to push with as many points in the middle, but
Yep, Josh, not bad of a hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 3-6 mon weight for that shape. I'm see. Remember, oh my God, Cody already with the Anko. He could just push this for Honitsu. It looks like he wants to keep the possibilities open just because, yeah, there are 4,500 points on the table. Like, you just want to keep that efficiency just in case. Good fill for Josh.
being greedy for an open Honitsu here when it's going to get you 3,900 points when there's more than that in the middle doesn't make a lot of sense. Quincy's got a pair of the Dora, and this hand is already Ishanten with a shot at Sanshoku.
Cody obviously going to keep his own seat win for that just to make it slightly more valuable. Again, not that it matters that much when all your value is coming from the table itself. Oh, and that's a good pair.
Now you can get rid of them. Now you might be able to run it down.
Yeah.
Cody is still North Seat as well. That hasn't moved. It's
Yeah,
been South one
it's
for a
definitely you
while.
definitely want that Yaku Honitsu. That's 8,000 plus 45 on the table. That gets you up to what is essentially Hanuman, which brings you pretty close to Max and Josh. Especially when you consider it's still only South 1, but Quincy's gonna call Pon for Dora. So he's going for Yaku Dora 4.
Everybody else will definitely be on the lookout now because it's like you said, dealing in is approximately paying a. It's more than paying a Hanuman at this point without the Homba.
It's a bit of a rough draw. You're just gonna I mean, yeah, the 369 Suji is just gonna have to come out for this Honitsu. Josh, meanwhile, can condense this Monzu and hopefully get into an Ipeco shape. But again, like he has a Nomi hand. Like it's if he gets a standby, he's just Riichi Nomi. Or maybe Riichi Dora 1 if I missed something.
Now, if he has an Aka, as I said, the Chundora has already been called. Yeah, one Aka. That's Tenpai, and with a shot, actually the Sanchoku here is a Hanuman.
Oh, that's disgusting, Quincy. You don't need all those points. Well, actually, you do. Actually, no. Go for it, Quincy. Go for the Hanuman. Take it all out of Max and Josh's points. And then that way, the Falcons have the biggest score of the current first session. That'd be great.
Okay, Cody's going for the Honitsu, but he's got the 2 Anko now as well, so
Yeah, that headless Ishanten is going to be a bit rough for him. And Josh drawing the north doesn't even see it on the table. I think he's a bit nervous. But if you're Cody, you kind of have to con that just to for the opportunity of more Dora.
Max is still Ishan 10, but he's been pushing very safely to try to shut down this Dora pawn while he's dealer.
And Josh in a bit of pickle here. Like it
The
is
problem is
Ishan 10,
it's
but you
still
have to cut
headless.
that really dangerous looking north.
Yeah, exactly. That is Tenpai. I think a Forso got cut earlier. I don't know how many turns back
Yeah,
it was.
and I think if you're Cody sitting at only 1800 points, you kind of got to take the Tempai. The biggest issue here is that this is a Tempai that will pretty much never upgrade. Oh, that's weird.
That's not taking the Tenpai, but
Can't really. I was thinking maybe you could get Toy Toy, but that was a Chi that he called earlier, so we can't even
yeah.
get that.
I mean, it's already Mongon. Taking the Tenpai would have been Mongon, rather.
Josh still really scared of this pay. Quincy, meanwhile, unfazed by having to cut the Sozu. Max, Ton should look pretty safe. I believe it's twice cut.
Yeah, it's just a matter of do you want the efficiency to cut something later. There's your Ipeico, but it's probably a little
Yeah,
bit
but you
late
still
for
have to
that.
cut that pay. It's like it's pretty awful. And the Formon as well now.
There's the death tile.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
That's the cheap side, I guess.
I
Sancho
mean,
Chun. I
consolation.
mean,
You're still
Chun
paying.
Dora 4.
You're still paying what 12,500 points.
Yes. On the other side, it would have been 16-5.
Now, longtime viewers of Riichi Nomi will surely know that being the last dealer with no points is no obstacle in getting top. Shout out to Christian.
It's probably a relief for Quincy to win that hand too and bring himself back up to starting points, even if third is going to be a small minus.
Yeah, in this league format where every point matters, mitigating your losses is just as important as getting to top. That's a bit of a weird cut. Maybe he's going for Chanto or possibly even Junchan if he could swing that. Max with what is essentially a confirmed Ipeco if he keeps the 78899 there, but two of the other sevens.
I think Quincy is thinking Kokushi here, to be honest with you.
Oh, that might also be true. That's please, yeah, go for that Kokushi, but also please don't. That would put you above Andres. Please don't do that, Quincy. Please.
I say nothing. I root for no one.
Really, Steve? After all this time, you don't want to root for my team?
I have no team allegiance here.
Cody looking strangely good for yet another flush. A lot of flushes this game. And it looks like, yeah, Max is going to get rid of that Ipeco. It's a very inefficient meld to keep in your hand.
With this pickup, he didn't really get a better shape, but he did make the rather than having the overlap on the 7 mon, he's got a 789 Sanshoku possible.
And yep, Quincy continuing to commit to that Kokushi. I have talked to Quincy about this. He almost never goes for Kokushi unless he has at least 5 honors, because otherwise he feels like it gets called way too easily. Which is a fair assessment, but also like, you know, with tiles, with Kokushi tiles, like tiles are tiles. I'll just go for it anyway. He's getting
That's
so
two
close.
Shanten.
10. Unfortunately, that pair of East means that he's not going to get the 13 weight, but like if you get Kokushi, like Kokushi's Kokushi. The bigger problem is that you haven't been getting any of the Pinzu.
Well, now it's Ishan 10. We need a 9
Oh
mon
my
or
god.
a 9 pin.
Yakuman bounty in our first game. What did I do to deserve this commentary?
Cody is almost 10. Oh, he's Ishan 10. Ryamen.
Yeah. Other than that one 9-pin, pretty much all the Junchan style high like getting cut.
I saw the bottom of that tile. I was like, oh, wrong one.
Yeah, pretty much all the honors and terminals that have been getting cut by the other players, they're already in Quincy's hand. So like he's not too worried. It's just that one 9-pin. And definitely by now everyone's, clued into the fact that Quincy's going for Kokushi. So they're going to be a lot more guarded of all these terminals and honors that are
Well,
in their hand.
that's a little rough. That's 4 pin he picks up, gives him a shot at Itsu, but it's also going to be free 10 if he fills in any of the other shapes. Although you could cut the 1 here and try to go for a 2-3-4 Sanchoku instead. Which I think is the best play because you don't want to be free 10. No, that's also something.
And Max also in a predicament, but I believe that 9-so is already in Quincy's hand.
Yes.
It does also Dorasuji, which might also be scaring him a little bit.
You see, so yeah, Quincy's looking for 9 mon or 9 pin.
9-mon, 9-pin, or there's something else because he has 2 pairs in his hand.
No, because he cuts 1 and he's Tenpai. He's just Ishan 10 right now for Kokushi. Oh,
that's Tenpai. That's
Tenpai on
Yakuman
9
Tenpai.
mon.
It just needs that 9-mon. And I think one's cut? Maybe?
Max has 1, but it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. So it's once cut.
Max cut it once. He has 1. So are there any others left?
Yeah, and
Josh cut it once. There's only 1 left. Josh cut it once.
That pay cut is going to look super suspicious to everyone else. So everyone has to know that if he's not Tenpai, he's at least Ishan 10 with overflow.
What is this theatrics? Pausing. Oh, that's Tenpai back.
That's Tenpai, but like...
He's going for a Honitsu, okay.
Oh, this is tense. I really want to see it. As much as I don't want Quincy to get a Yakuman, I really want to see a Yakuman. Oh, this whole table is spooked. No one can cut these terminals or honors. Like, Pei is the only safe one.
Yeah, Max is done. He's like he just
like yeah, no. Yeah. Tsumogiri after like what is it? 2 Tsumogiris after a pay cut? Like obviously he's Tenpai, right?
Well, it's just 1 overflow. I mean, your only overflow is many as you draw.
Oh,
that is that Tenpai again? No, it's not. The 4 is not mixed into the hand.
the tension is killing me.
I know. I'm sitting on the edge of my chair now. I was like leaning back for a while.
Someone draw the last 9-mon, please.
They have to draw it and not cut it. That's the other thing, though.
I just want to see it. It doesn't even need to go to Quincy. I just want to see it.
I'm gonna look at the pawns again. I don't know if they've all been cut. Like I know Max has the 1 in his hand, but he's not. He's obviously done. Yeah, that's a bit of bravery there to cut any edge tile. Yeah, Max is done. Those edge tiles are never coming out.
So
but
loud.
He's never cutting that
so
9.
loud.
So there's 1 in front of Josh. Let's count these.
1 in front of Josh, 2 in front of Max.
There's 1 in front of Max and 1 in his hand, right? And is there any in front of Cody? I don't see it in front of Cody.
No. So there's 1 left for Quincy, and he pretty much has to sumo it. The bigger issue is that Josh is now Tenpai as well, and he doesn't need the 9-so. He could win on the 6-so, which is probably more of what he's gunning for. And I think Quincy is the only one that would cut it.
This is Dora, yeah. I mean, this is the jig is up here. If you cut this, don't Tadashi. Oh, that makes it look. I would just sumo Gary because that makes it even look even worse.
I don't think he cares anymore. I think he knows he has to sumo it.
Maybe, but it's like don't make it look like you made progress again.
I mean,
in my opinion.
the other thing is that by Tadashiing the tone, it hides what his weight is, and no one's gonna be able to cut another tone. So if he Tadashi's or if he Tsumagiris the one mon, that means one mon is safe, and other players can do things with their hand essentially.
No. Okay.
This you Tsumagiri. Quincy just Tsumagiri it. Like I'm pretty sure it's safe.
Like nobody's fooled here. See, I don't think anybody's fooled. Like I know Max clearly sussed out the danger and
Oh. Oh wait, no, he has the other one in his hand. Okay, he didn't sort the other
there
one.
it is.
Okay,
He's
we're
not
saved. We're saved. Quincy's hand is dead. Oh man, tension averted. My heart rate can rest now. Holy.
because there's 2 draws left. So Quincy and Cody have a draw. But Cody is one holding the last 9, but
And he can't do anything with it.
He's not gonna cut it. If
No.
this is Tenpai, but he is gonna cut it. Oh no.
No! Oh, what a disaster!
Look at that smile.
Quincy's so happy. Quincy's so look at that smile. Look at that smile. Get this man a photo. Oh my god. First Yakuman of N League. 3 seasons and we finally get a Kokshi and it busts Cody. Oh, I feel so bad for Cody. Oh no. Oh no. He doesn't deserve. He was already in last. He didn't deserve that.
Now Max and Josh are eyeballing each other with this 100-point difference between second and third, being like, okay.
All right, move on to South 3. Quincy doesn't want to win this hand. He does not want to run the Homba up, and he does not want to repeat. He wants to get out of this hand no 10.
I don't know. If the Dora is Pinzu, I would play this. It looks pretty good, to be honest. Oh god, it's this one. It's this
Pinzudora. There's your Pinzudora, Max. Do you still play this?
I'm not Max, but yes.
Or sorry, Steve.
Max is at the table.
You know, all you hoes look the same.
I still play this. Yes, I mean all the points. This is the first session of the season. Like rack up the points.
No, it's gonna look like 5 so Dora.
Mm-hmm.
Don't see any unless I missed one in Quincy's hand. All right, there's one for Josh. Definitely like it's 100 points. Like you also just kind of want to win this hand and let the next hand go to. Well, I can't let the next hand go to Cody. Actually. Cody keeps getting these flush hands. I don't understand. How do you draw these hands? Why aren't they ever in my hand? You know?
Yeah. You know, an interesting thing is that we're not in the room either. I don't know if Quincy did anything when he drew into Tenpai that gave himself away or not.
Well, if he did anything, it clearly worked on Cody, I guess.
Well, I mean, Cody was Tenpai at the end, and he just tried to push for his Tenpai. It was very costly, but
Yep, and Quincy's gonna go for this Otozuke Tenpai.
It's not Otozuke if you cut it if it's a Honitsu. It's fine.
True.
It's Honitsu Dora 1 with a possible Chun.
Cody looks like he'd go for Itsu as well.
Okay, Max is West, so that works.
Yep, I think Max just wants to get out of this game second place at this point. Like, you could theoretically get like 2 Hanamans to overtake Quincy, but that's a really
Well,
tough path.
Quincy's only up on max by about 20k. So even any sumo that closes the gap by more than 10 would go far enough to make Mangan sumo next hand fine. But clearly he's just trying to leave in second with that call. Also probably sees what Quincy is up to and be like, okay, if probably should outspeed this.
Yep. Now you have to choose which Kanchan is going to fill, and he's betting on the 7. So I think it is a little bit better because you can upgrade that to a Ranmen. Whereas with the Monzu, I believe he cut the 7 Mon, and that would lead him Furry 10 if he gets the Ranmen on that side. Oh, and that's confirmed. Ipeco for Josh. I'm gonna Riichi that for the 6 So Kanchan.
Riichi pay Kodor 1, so we're looking at 50, 200 at least.
And there's Dora for Cody, but like if he really wants to push this, he's gonna have to cut the 2 So Dora Suji. He might just well, he's kind of got to push. Like at this point, when you're minus, what you started, like you just kind of gotta push and go.
He is the last dealer. I don't know if we'll see Quincy pushing too hard here. If he gets Tenpai, he'll take it, but if he draws
No,
bad tile,
Quincy will, in the words of another player last year, Quincy will fold at a brisk breeze.
yeah, I think he beats. It's an Epot.
And
No,
there's
not Epot.
Sumo. It's not Epots.
It's
No.
Mangan, unless you hit Rotu.
Smangan, I believe that was a 2 So or 2 Mon Uradora, so that should be just 2,000, 4,000. Now we're in all last. One Mongon from Josh actually takes the lead, even if he doesn't get it off of Quincy direct.
Yep, Josh can get a Mangan from anyone and win by 100 points. Maximum a Mangan will be enough to overtake Josh by 100 points.
And then, yeah, obviously Cody just wants to win like 7 hands in a row.
Well, Josh has got the double Yakuhai pair off the start here. Quincy's hand is very meh.
I mean, again, he's folding to a brisk breeze. The only reason why he'd want to win is if he senses a Mongon from Josh. Which I don't know. Oh, Josh can. Oh, there's the Mongon.
Oh yeah, it's the Dora. Hakudora 3.
Yeah, and he could just open his hand. So Josh can just take top if the other players aren't careful. Decent enough pickup. You could again, it's a callable hand. And Cody with the penchant for Ipeco, but not a lot of other all his shapes are just kind of bad.
Yeah, I think I
He's
would have
not really
rather. I would have
getting any
rather
value.
seen the. Oh Jesus! Which Kanchan cutting? The one that won't upgrade as easily. Makes sense.
Yep.
It's kind of a backfire on the 6th there.
Yeah. And there's the Dora. Obviously, Josh should not con that, but it would be very funny if he did.
See Shanten? Do you take Anko headless here? Probably.
I think you just cut the penchant here.
Yeah, he's going for Unco Headless. I think maybe he doesn't want to reach you the 7-9 pin weight anyway. So I can see going this route, but all right, Josh.
And there's Josh going for Tenpai. 6-0 Tenpai to take
Again.
top.
He was 6-0 Senpai last time as well.
Oh, that's true, yeah. So all we got to do is wait 2 turns and sumo it.
You can cut a penchant here and have the Nobetan shape. It's a little wider. Or the Kanchan, depending on what you think. He's just going to throw it back.
Nope,
Okay.
doesn't want it. I think he kind of senses that there's something going on, and he just doesn't want this hand.
Nope.
All right.
For a second, I thought that
You
was
know,
the 6 again.
Now that I think about it, this is the same turn that he got Tenpai last hand as well. So that means the 6-0 comes on his next draw. If you know, repeatable science is to be believed.
This is Ishan 10. It also has a weird world where it gets Suanko. But it
I
has to have
mean,
a lot
yeah,
of
dealer
damage.
Yakuman, that definitely puts him back in contention for third.
Yeah. That's Tenpai, but I'm assuming he's going to Dama this. Maybe he reaches to get out of here. He reaches to get out of here. Okay, 2 pin.
Okay, Riichi to leave, 2 pin. And I believe
Max is Ishan 10.
all 4 6-0 should be in the wall.
Nope,
Or
Quincy
okay,
has
one's
one.
in Quincy's hand.
Cody doesn't have
And I
any.
believe that's it. I don't think I saw any in the discards.
Max still with this Ryanmen times 2
Oh,
Ishan.
and there's a
the
sumo. Sumo for top. Quincy gets the Yakuman, and he only takes second place.
So that would be South White Door 3.
Okay, that is our first game of N League Season 3 with a 54,000 point second. So yeah, that's gonna be Josh top. Quincy takes second. Max takes third for Opie Dopes, and poor Emperor Penguins. This seems a bit of a repeat of last year where they just keep getting unlucky. But yeah, that's the game, folks. I believe that also beats out Andres' score at the other table by 1,000 points. So Falcons and Destroyers right now are neck and neck. Yep, there's our scores from table 2. So that should put the standings in the order of Destroyers, Falcons, Yakumen, Opie Dopes, Triad, Sours, Doraneko, and Emperor Penguins. I hope I got all of that correct. Anyway, we're going to take a break here. So go ahead, get a glass of water, go to the bathroom, do what you got to do. We will be here with game 2 in some number of minutes. Oh, we're back. Oh, oops. Welcome back. We're turning back here after a very exciting game one where we had the first Yakuman of N League. Our standings page is a little bit wrong. We're trying to get that updated and fixed for you, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime relatively soon. But we are just going to move on to game two, where we have an all veterans table. Everyone returning here should be a returning member of N League. So we've got for the Sours, Calvin. For the Falcons, we have Andres. For the Triads, we got Captain Josh. And for the Doraneko, we have Melissa. I'm pretty sure you're more familiar with these players than the previous table, Steve, but I'll start off by saying I play with at least two of these on a pretty regular basis. The other two, not so much. Josh tends to be a bit preoccupied up in Queens. But Melissa is probably the most ladder player I've ever met. She stays men's end all the time. Riichi's when her tempai is only very good, and then folds at any hint of anyone else being tempai. I don't know if that's an accurate assessment of her. I know she's been trying to change a little bit and play a little bit more open, a little bit more aggressive. But we'll see how that shakes out. And apparently, I'm just talking into a void. So I'm just
No,
gonna.
I'm
Oh,
here. Nothing,
okay,
nothing
okay,
bad,
okay,
nothing bad, nothing
okay.
bad.
I was.
You play with all of these people more than I do, so.
I mean, I know two of these. Andres has been a bit more tied up in poker as of recently. He's been trying to get into Tokujo recently. If you follow his YouTube channel at Stock Soul, but he doesn't play that often, at least on Tenho. I know he's a lot more of a Riichi City player. Shout out to our sponsors, Riichi City. Um, and then Calvin, I play like pretty regularly with him, but I don't really have his style quite nailed down. He just kind of plays as he plays. And then Josh is a bit of an enigma for me. Last time we played in N League, he got Chitoy like 4 times into my Riichis.
And then you're left wondering, is that a tendency or is that just how this went?
Yeah, exactly.
The last time I played with Josh was at his place, and I got a Nagashi Mangan on his auto table, which was fun.
And it looks like players are about to get started, just getting final setup ready. And as soon as we push the tiles in, we should get started. Josh is going to be our first dealer, followed by Andres, then Calvin, then Melissa.
I guess we don't have the face cams necessarily on the players at all time. Do the members of Doraneko actually wear their ears at the table?
I don't think so.
I would think not. I think it'd be really annoying, but it would also be humorous if they did.
Yeah, well, I mean, I usually bring a plush to have at my table as my good luck charm. It hasn't worked yet, but I'd like to think that eventually it will.
We've got a pair of Chun and an Akadora. Good shapes.
Yep, definitely what you want as first dealer. I tend to not like being the first dealer because there's less opportunity to come back. So whenever I'm first dealer, I like to see good hands or at least fast hands, so I could run up my score as much as possible. Josh is gonna call that Chun, and then just continue his turn. Confirmed Yaku for him. It's Shah Dora. We haven't seen any in the first 2 hands here. And now the first 3 hands.
Oh, I didn't realize Calvin was a left-handed player.
Oh yeah, he's a lefty. It's very annoying.
I am too, and I understand the pain of blocking the camera
it's
all
really
the time.
annoying whenever we go out to eat and I have to sit next to him and I pick the wrong side of the table to sit on.
I mean, just with the camera angle and everything else, it's readily obvious when you have a left-handed
Yeah,
player.
it's also really funny.
All the time.
It's really funny because Weibin, one of his teammates, is also a lefty, but Weibin is a lot less cognizant that he's a lefty and blocking the camera. Shout out to Weibin.
It's a development for Andres. There's a couple floaters.
Yeah.
He needs to make another block.
He's got 3 pairs, so you could cut that 8 mon and just keep that as 2 shapes there. But if he draws another 7-mon, that's also just a good shape for him.
4 pairs.
Okay, that's now 4 pairs. Kind of gotta make a decision here.
He's
Yeah,
done.
8-so is definitely the regular cut there.
Definitely not going for Cheetos on.
Yeah, it's gonna be awkward. Like you already have 2 Mensu. Like Chitoi is kind of a foregone conclusion there.
You could cut the floating 6-so out of the hand, then at least if you draw the Sha, you have a path for it, but that's about the only reason to try Cheetoy. It looks like everybody else is drawing them.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be awkward later when everyone has to cut it all at the same time when someone reaches. And that 2-so, like, it's good because it'll help get rid of that pair, but also it's still only a penchant weight.
Josh not filling in this Rian man, and Melissa not helping him do it.
Yeah, and Calvin's still trying to improve his shapes just to get into a more valuable hand. Right now, it's only looking like Riichi Nomi. Josh looking like he has the strongest hand with Chundora 1. Oddly enough. Everyone has a Dora now, and no one wants to cut it.
I think
Who's going to be the
Andres
first
doesn't have a
brave
Dora
soul?
yet, right?
What's that?
I think Andres does not have a Dora. Everyone else has one.
Andres does not have Dora. That's correct.
Josh is holding a Dora. Melissa's holding a Dora.
And these are all basically players that. Oh man, there goes the first Dora.
Josh has decided, nope, I'm done. It turns out Andres' hand was Cheetoy all along. That would be Tenpai.
How could he have ever known? He started out with 2 Mensu. Like, how could he have ever known? That's a bit awkward.
I'm not saying you should know.
I think you just cut Dora and be a little bit safe with it. And then keep all your options open. But I guess Calvin just wants to keep it as a safe tile for later because his hand's just not really worth that much. So if someone does Riichi, he just wants a nice safe fold tile. And that's a bit of a backfire with the 6-so cut, but also when you had it, what else were you gonna cut?
So one Dora has come out, but Melissa and Calvin are still hanging on to the extra Dora, and there's still one out there.
Well, Melissa's headless, so she wants
Melissa's
to
headless, so it does make sense. I mean, you use Dora Tonki if you have to.
And then I think Calvin's only keeping it as a safe tile. And there's the penchant fail. That's not the best Tenpai, but it is a Tenpai, which is technically further along than everyone else. And there goes sideways on 5-pin, 9-pin.
Yeah, now somebody's Riichi. Now somebody's Riichi, and you have both of these once cut Doras in your hand, and you can't get rid of them.
Yeah.
Andres already went through 8 pairs.
There's one of the 9 pins. Have any of them been cut yet?
I don't think so, actually.
No, I see one across from Calvin. So Josh cut one. And there's the Suji trap. So that means 9-pin is dead unless Calvin wants to get rid of it. 5-pin still looks live though. So he could sumo on that.
No, Josh has a choice here to take the 5,800 point Tenpai, which he's going to do.
All right, and that's 2-5 for Josh.
No one is going to probably cut the 5-pin here, so we're not going to see
5-pin, yeah. 5-pin is not getting cut. So last 9-pin is in Calvin's hand. He has to cut it if he wants to advance his hand. But again, his hand's just not worth that much.
He's just folding. So 2-pin is twice cut by Andres already.
Yep. So, and the 6-pin is also cut after the Riichi, so it is Suji Trap. It's just a matter of, does Calvin trust Suji? And there's at least one reason not to trust Suji. Or at least one reason to keep the Suji.
And honestly, the more walled off it gets, the more likely it is to get cut. Oh, there we go.
Oh, and there's a
Small
sumo on
Amiaka.
the red. Riichi Sumo, Dora 1. The was the one mon. I can't remember if there was one in his hand.
He had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mon. So
Riichi Sumo, Dora 1 should be 1,000, 2,000. If I'm counting the food correctly. Right? Yeah. Now, on Justice Dealership, he's got one of the Aka in his hand, but not all that much else. He's got the Ranmin for the 6-7 mon. And Calvin's hand kind of looking like hot garbage. I guess you could go for the Chanta or 1-2-3 Sanshoku, but like even that's a pretty far off dream.
That's about all you've got. You far off dreams is all that hand has. The eight so is Dora, which makes the possibly Chanta Junchan angle a little more valuable.
And now you've got something. At least you could open this hand for the tune call. Meanwhile, Melissa's hand also kind of not going places. I mean, you have some shapes at least, but none of them are good. They're all basically single tile.
Well, Josh looks like he's trying to go for some sort of Junchan as well. That 5 cut. Almost all the other blocks are on the outside, which so it kind of makes sense.
And then there's the Ryankan for Calvin, slightly improving his shapes, but not really improving his Shanten. Yeah, overall, not a great hand for most of these players.
Dress really likes to run 5-pin.
Look, if it's red, it's red.
Hey, I just paired up the Dora, so now even though it's still far, it's now finally like worth pushing for. I don't know if one tune was already cut before he drew it. See Josh making a call there. Calvin's gonna pull the Dora. Okay.
All right. So, yep. So Calvin now has is. I mean, this is basically just headless. What, like 3 Shanten?
Headless and Otozuke as well. If you
And Otozuke. At least it's not furry 10.
It's gonna be it's Otozuke until he gets the tune or it gets Shabo. Josh is now trying to do an Anko, which kind of kills his head, but it's okay.
I mean, he could always keep the Anko and pair something else up if nothing else works out. Oh, and there's the tune for Calvin.
Just draw it.
Suddenly his hand actually looks pretty good now.
Plus it's got that helps with an Itsu if she was willing to go with Haku. Yep. Oh, excellent.
Excellent penchant fill.
It's kind of Anko headless, but what the head can be is a little more restricted.
Meanwhile, Melissa looks all too. Oh well, no, she can't go for Nagashi manga anymore. Her one pin got called. More Sozu, but this one I don't think she can really use.
Doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
You keep
it's
it.
kind of awkward.
You cut a different block somewhere else, I guess, but that's not really. Or you just cut the.
But like, even if you do, like, what are you actually like? Your shape isn't actually improving there. I guess that gets rid of one Kanchan, but then you lose the possibility of Itsu. Granted, I'm an Itsu lover, so I would always go for the Itsu there.
think you can go either way with that. That's
Oh,
at least
there's
an
a head.
advancement. There's a head finally. So we've got
Yep, and it's
Chundora
red.
4.
Another door that Calvin definitely needs.
Because yeah, Chundora 4 is so much more valuable than Chundora 3.
Looking back, I think what Josh might be angling for is drawing a Dora so he could get that 7-8 Dora weight. But he does have to cut a block out for that.
That's the best reason to have kept the 6 there. He's going to cut the 9 though, because the 9 has been pawn. Well, no, 9 has been pawn. We know it's held, but
Yeah. Josh drawing Dora.
is it
I'm a little
Sanchoku
concerned to
already? I
cut
don't
it.
know.
Like,
That is still not tenpai, but much wider. I mean, it's possible that the Dora pawn from Calvin could have just partially spooked the table too.
there's another 6 so. Which, if you didn't cut the 9 so, that could have been your head. But if you didn't cut the 9 so, then you right now you're trying to figure out which one of those kanchan that you should have cut. I'm just gonna keep the 6 so again.
I don't know what the call in the corner is. Is it a chi? I guess it's
That was
chi.
a 1-2-3 chi,
So
I believe.
Junchan
1, 2, 3.
Sanchoku Tenpai for Josh. And Andres finds 5-8 Mon Riichi.
All right. I mean, sure, but Calvin still has pretty much all the value on the table. He sees 4 doors, so I think he's just gonna push. Melissa, meanwhile, seems all too content to fold this hand.
Yeah, we got Josh Tenpai right now on 3. 3 so if he remains there. He might
Look,
fold
Cult of
here.
3 so is very strong.
He's
With
no
Max
longer
gone
he's no longer the
and
dealer, so it's not
yeah.
quite as pushable. It's not a good weight. I don't know how many 5-8 Mon, excuse me, are held.
Wasn't counting.
Now we'll figure it out. Calvin's probably going to push. Yep.
Yeah.
Melissa doesn't have any. Melissa's
Melissa
gone
hasn't cut any
has
either.
gone the
Oh,
fourth.
that's all. My God, the
Is that-
6-0 just love her,
Is that
and
tenpai?
she probably hates it so much.
I was like, is that tenpai? But I think that might have been tenpai. I'm not sure.
Like, into Oya Riichi, it's not even a good comment to have.
No, yeah. Because the Dora is the 8. But the Dora got pawned. I mean, at this point, you can. The Dora got pawned from Andres, and she has all the 6s. So she could
Yeah,
cut.
and she has 2 of the 7, so she could
She
kind
could
of.
cut the 7, 7, 8. Like the 8 is Genbutsu as well.
Yeah, and she's gonna call that. Um, perhaps Tanyo. Maybe she's a little bit confident because she does see the Anko or the Kotsu of Dora in Calvin's pool. But like you still have to cut that 6-pin or at least Kutsuki it.
I don't really. I was like, I wanted to think she was tenpai, but I don't think there's any way that's tenpai. That shape.
No.
She's not 6-pin Tonki here.
Well, there's that 3 so that would have been cut for your win, Josh. And that's 4 mon. I believe that was safe.
I don't know if 2-pin is safe or not.
2-pin is definitely not safe right now. But it's going out.
2-pin was Andres's Riichi tile.
I
That's why.
understand.
So it is the Genbutsu,
But there's the Agari High in Josh's hand now, so that's at least 1 gone. I keep forgetting to actually count in other people's hands.
there aren't that many held. That's tenpai waiting on 2-so for Chundora 4. That
That's
I hate this block. Yes, it's 6'9", so the
oh,
face.
she's very annoyed at that. She has
It's
no idea.
I think it's 6'9", so, but she's already dropped the 9, so it's free 10 as well.
Yeah, you could see her kind of playing with her tiles there, trying to figure it out.
She's trying to figure out if
Yeah,
she can be on a
it's 6-9. It can
donkey.
only be 6-9 because the 6-0 is tied up in the 4-5-6 or the 5-6-7. But like, yeah, it is furry 10.
And she can't win it anyway, because it's free 10 and the 9 anyway, where there are any left,
Yeah,
has no Yaku.
furry 10 Otozuke on a tile that she already has 4 of.
Yes, so yeah, it's like unwinnable. It's technically 10 pi because the 9 still
No,
completes
no,
it.
it's winnable. There's still a Haite Nomi.
I think the 9 is dead. I think they've all been cut.
Oh, is it?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Um. Oh my god. Yeah, we're feeling it too, Melissa. Don't worry.
I definitely feel this. This is yeah, the
I
Dora is like
think
no
that's
chance. That's
correct.
still 10 pi, but
Yeah, at the very least, it gets you out of furry 10, probably.
I don't know. I think that weight is now I don't even know what it is. I have to look at it again. It doesn't matter, it's done.
There it is, Tempai for 3. If Melissa declares Tempai here,
I haven't
which
seen
I
it.
imagine she
Oh
would.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
there
10
she
pi.
goes.
It's just it's a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think.
Yeah, except the 6 can't win because 4.
I mean I know, but
Oh my god, I'm loving these face cams. These face cams are so good.
oh no, it wouldn't be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 then. I'd have no idea. This is time to like use the computer program to
Yeah,
tell me
hang
what
on.
it is.
What was it? /4 or no?
/2.
It's /2.
You go /4, you're gonna be playing.
Fuck yeah. 1, 2, 3. No, it was 4, 5, 6 P 4, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 7,
7,
7.
7.
So,
Yeah.
um, I believe that says Ishanten.
It shouldn't. It's definitely 10 pi.
Anyway, this hand. All right, so nothing particularly exciting. We see one door and Josh, one door with Andres. Good penchant, or yeah, good Kanchan fill there, but kind of awkward shapes all around. Melissa called the tune. I'm being told by staff that it's 4, 5, 7, 8. So that Melissa was waiting for.
If she was the thing is if she was wait, I just looked it up too. It was, but that means she would have sumoed. Because she cut an 8.
Steve, please explain why every time we commentate together, someone misses sumo.
Well, I missed it this time too. So
That's
the last time
fair.
it was missed, I didn't miss it. But this time I
That's
missed
fair.
it. All right, I am back with the program. I was doing Tenho 2 things as well.
All right. Still nothing particularly exciting happening. Pretty much everyone's hand is playing themselves right now. Really, everyone's just trying to fill their shape to Tempai. I think Calvin has the or I guess Melissa technically has the fastest hand because she has the confirmed Yaku with the Chun. But Calvin should be able to just call for his Tanyao Doro 1.
Mhm. I will say for people watching the program back later, if you watch the VOD, we that hand before when we said it was a 6-9 weight, it was actually a 4-6-9 weight, which is why she sumoed.
I understand.
I missed it as well. Like I was just too many overlapping tiles, and of course it wasn't
Yeah,
waiting on the 6 at all.
those
She had
yeah,
more of them.
definitely not an enviable position to be in.
Oh, good pickup.
And yeah,
Not
Josh.
really, not really an Itsu to be had here. So which side do you cut
Yeah,
from?
it's kind of awkward because your head's in Pinzu and you can't really. Meanwhile, Andres suddenly being able to go for a Ipeco. Calvin as well. Too, but he would have to give up his son Menchon if he wants to do that.
He's already got a Sanshoku chance anyway, and the Sanmenchan, so it's just better to stay the course, I think.
And I believe that Haku should be safe, so Andres should be pushing towards a Pinfu, possibly Ipeco hand.
Melissa's Tenpai. I didn't catch how many Dora she was holding. 3 Mon, but she's definitely Tanyao Tenpai at this point. Or she called a Yakuhai. I missed whatever she did earlier.
She has one call.
Again, that's not that really that helpful.
Yeah, I mean, you could cut the 2 and confirm your Tanyao.
You could cut the 5 pin too if you wanted to keep the 3. So it makes getting Sanshoku a little more
Oh,
likely.
and that's Sumo, so that should be Chundor 1 for Melissa.
Oh, so she had pawned to Chun. Okay. Well, with the Homba in the middle, that would be 1,000-1,500.
Yeah, and this is going to East 3. It's still a very close game for everyone. Now, hobbits at home might be thinking, we've had one Yakuman, yes, but how about second Yakuman? And just really light this game up.
Hobbits at home. This is the Shire's Junso. Right, Dora is 7. I didn't catch it, but the screen says it's 7, so 2 in
I'll
Kelvin's
believe
hand.
it. 2 in dealer's hand. That's really scary. Melissa's got another pair of tunes too.
Well, here comes 1. She will pawn.
She will pawn, discard a tile, and end her turn. I think you just cut the 7 7 mon here. Because you're really angling for that second or the third Hatsu to come out.
Yeah, you're overblocked anyway, so 1 block's got to go. So she chose the block that she can call the most with, so she kept the pair, the Ryanmen pair block.
Oh, and there goes. All right, so all we need is her to draw 2 Haku and get the third somehow. One's already cut, so she needs to draw both of them herself.
It's one of those things where if the Haku comes soon, you might be tempted to just throw it, but the later you draw it, the worse it gets.
Yeah. But if you do draw it, you just cut the 7 mon and just hope that a second one comes.
John Phil for Andres. Melissa's going to call into Tenpai. 4-7.
You could also go for Toy Toy, I believe. If you draw as the 5 or 6, so that's Yaku Yaku Toy Toy for Mangan. Although it is looking harder to draw now the more I see other people's hands.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a worthy upgrade. Her 2 Yakuhai right now are only going to be worth 2,600. She does have enough Fu plenty because she pawned the 1 pin on top of the other 2 pawns.
There it is.
Does she go for it?
I think you go for it. It's Mangan.
It's definitely it's like from an
Oh,
EV
she doesn't want
perspective.
it.
From an EV perspective, yeah, because you're 4 tiles
Yeah.
to Mangan versus 8 tiles to 2600.
Yeah,
So
you're
yeah,
also
definitely.
waiting on Dora, which is hard enough to do as is, and then just reducing your
I
tiles
think
by
it's
half.
precisely the fact that it is waiting on Dora that she kept it because it gives her an out that's 4 of her tiles are actually to 5200.
Yeah, but you could have 4 tiles where it's guaranteed Mangan. I'm just saying, I go for the Mangan.
Nice
Oh, and
draw,
that's a
Ishanta.
nice Dora. I was looking through the chat earlier. Andres did claim a bounty in the previous game for All Stars. He got all 3 Akadora in one winning hand. Not quite Tempai, but it's Ishanten, and you're waiting on Penchon in the worst case scenario.
We haven't what know what we haven't seen? Haku,
So true, bestie.
which is kind of it's gonna frighten people now if they draw it.
Yeah.
It's gone long enough now that it's like, okay, if
Here's
I
that,
deal this,
and
it's
I
gonna
just
cost me
know
32k.
if it's Melissa that draws it, she's gonna cut it immediately. Like no hesitation.
That does widen the Kanchan to a Ryankan and an Ipeiko, but he's choosing to not keep it. Wants the safety of the Nam.
Oh, and
She
we're
will
gonna see a
come though.
con. That brings her hand up to 50 fu, I believe.
Oh,
And the
Rinsha?
sumo, Rinchan sumo. So that should be 6400.
350. Yes, it does look like it. Yeah, 16, 20, 24, 2 for Tsumo. Yes, it would be 350 or yeah, 350. Yep. So 1632.
And they're just trying to figure out scoring right now. There shouldn't be any home on the table, so it should just be a normal 1632. Um Oh, and they're just trying to figure out how to make change. All right, Melissa taking, I wouldn't say a commanding lead, but definitely a slightly more comfortable than normal lead. Anything can happen when there's big home in play. But her
Nice
hand,
starting hand for Melissa here.
yeah, not too bad. Let's see what her first draw is.
Upgrade.
It's not bad either. It's pretty good. That upgrades her Kanchan to a Ranmen. And then she's got 2 more Ranmen, 1 Mensu.
She just doesn't need these dragons at all. You
Yeah.
pair something up, you want it to go for a Pinfu in this case.
I mean, you could go for a Tompin even.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Andres starting with Anko of North. Good tile. Good tile, Andres.
Not his seat, but I mean it's still
Not a
progress
seat,
and he's
but it's still an
focused on
excellent
that.
tile to hold.
Oh yes,
Perhaps.
yes, I forgot that. Pei is your favorite.
Yeah, yeah. Dare I say, it's the best style to hold.
I respectfully disagree, but that's fine. We can all have our opinions. So Andres Ishantan.
Yeah. The bigger problem is that the rest of his
Bad
hand is kind of hard to fill.
It's more like you get a good floater and you choose to part probably with the 1 mon, but the 1 mon allows you to utilize a second Dora, so it's the hands. The remaining shapes are just bad. You want to upgrade a little
Yeah.
bit if possible. That's good. That's
Oh,
good.
that's good though. That's real good.
Looking at Itsu here potentially. I say is Calvin draws one of the sevens. Andres needs.
And Melissa drawing another one, filling in one of her own Granmen. I believe she also had a Nakabukure to get out of that Kanchan weight as well to guarantee a Pinfu hand.
I'll have to look at it again. I think she just has a San Menchan in the Manzu.
No, she has the Sozu Nakabukure.
I meant yes, I mentioned Monza though.
Really rough hand for Andres. It's gonna be so hard to get that Itsu, but like it's really all that he'd go for. Josh also looking like he's gonna have to Dora Kanchan, which is going to be another hard weight itself.
A new block. Time to get rid of something.
Block.
The overlap is actually on the Sozu overlap with themselves. So I think I would have cut 7, 8 so there.
Yeah, but you could also just go for the San Menchan.
Yeah,
It's
no,
a little
you draw a
hard.
6, you draw a 6. I mean, that's excellent.
Yeah.
It looks like Max is running over the other table.
He wants revenge. He got Yakuman on, and
I mean, he didn't deal into it, but he got third.
no, but
he
it
got
put him
Yakuman.
into third. Bit of a backfire there, cutting the Nakabukure over the Kanchan. She would have had a Pinfu Ipeko chance. But it is what it is.
Okay, there you go. Now
There's
you're
your San
reaching.
Menchan.
Haven't seen anybody open Riichi yet. I don't expect Kelvin to open Riichi
No.
first, but
It's really a chasing move.
so what did that make? That made Kelvin 369. So
I believe that's correct. 2 of them in Josh's hand. I believe 1 in Melissa's. But I mean, wait, this wide, it doesn't really matter how many times it's held in other people's hands. Oh, I'm also holding 1 of each, actually. And if she wants that Tompine, like she's gonna have to let go of that 9-so, but it looks so bad right now. And there it goes. Riichi, Pinfu, Dora 2, was it?
Dora 3.
Dora 3.
I don't know if he hit an Uradora or not.
And I guess we'll never know.
No, Melissa only paid 8K, so it must have been no Nora.
All right, that's just the lead over to Calvin, but just by a hair. And this is, once again, anyone's game going into South 3, or South 1. Not too shabby of a hand for Josh, but there's definitely improvements that it can make. And given that it's a high pie, I think that you can't really ask for much more on a high pie.
Yep. Dora 3 Mon. Kelvin has 1 floating. Let's look at where the others are. Melissa has 1 already locked away. Pretty good hand for Melissa here.
Yep, if she draws that 5-mon, she can even get a second pretty comfortably. Josh K, meanwhile, that's his 3rd pair. He's gonna cut the Shaw because he wants to cut down to 2.
You know, he's gonna. I think he was 5 blocks there, so I did look at it again. But he might be under blocking himself just to try to accept the Dora, which I guess fair that early. It's not really worth a whole lot. Yeah. I mean, he's back to 5 blocks now. It's still the same problem of the
Yeah, but
tile can't really go anywhere.
I mean, yeah, like if you had kept the Shaw, then you're basically guaranteeing yourself to a Shabo weight.
Yeah.
But at least with the 1-3, you could get the 4 and accept a Jianmen weight.
Melissa, in the meanwhile, is Ishan 10 now, but she's got 2 Kanchans to fill.
All right, and we're back at 3 pairs. Normally we would just cut the 6-so there. And Andres also
Yeah,
up
3
at
pairs.
3 pairs. Andres definitely a player that likes Chitoy more than others, so he might angle that way, but it's still kind of a long shot for his hand, especially when you consider it's already turn 5.
Yeah, Cheetoy from 3 pairs on turn 5. That's 4 pairs here.
4
5
pairs for
pairs.
Calvin.
That's 5
Calvin can
pairs.
actually do Chitoy.
No, that's 5 pairs. The
That's
tune,
5?
the Haku's on the end are a pair.
Oh,
If you're like me and not
yeah.
looking at that other pair, this looks like a Toitsuba. Everyone draw on pair after pair after pair. Melissa
Yep.
pairs up this.
Except for Melissa, who keeps getting Mensu.
Well, Melissa got a pair here, but she's going to throw it away because she's Ushantan. Good
And there's
upgrade
a
there.
Ranman upgrade for Josh.
Also a Ranman upgrade.
Now
for
Andres
Andres.
has to make a decision. Does he want the Toitsuba? No, he wants the Ranman. Especially considering that dropping that forces him to use that Akadora.
Well, look,
One,
it's another pair.
3, 4. Yep, that's 4 pairs for Josh.
4, and there's 2 in his pond already.
Sometimes
Andres
you just
with
gotta listen to what the
Ishanten.
wall's
Perfect
telling you.
Ishanten for Andres. Pretty good. That's Cheetoy
Oh,
Tenpai. Do you
so,
wait on the Dora, right? How lucky and greedy do you
or
feel?
you could. Okay, he's gonna wait on Dora, but like, how funny would it be to go for very show Sangen?
Mini Sangan. That's what I've heard somebody call it. I don't remember. Mini Sangan.
Doras are okay. Melissa has 1.
Melissa has 1, I believe. Andres
doesn't have
has
any.
1.
Andres does not have any. I don't think. No, he doesn't. He
Oh
can
no, he's
accept
waiting for it. Yeah, so I mean, there's still 2 of them for you, but like, no one's gonna drop it for you. Like, you can't be that delusional, right? So
No, I mean you Riichi the Cheetoy wait, hoping to sumo it, and then
yeah, Riichi, Sumo, Chitoy, Dora 2 for Hanemon. And then you hit Ura 2 for Baimon. Yeah, you take that weight.
It's Tenpai 3/6mon. I don't know how bad that looks, but this looks like you
Riichi,
just Riichi
Pinfu,
this.
Dora 2. I mean, it's manga.
Yeah, 3/6mon. So only Andres cannot deal into Calvin.
I think at this point,
another pair.
oh my god, Josh, you should have just gone for Chitoy. It's calling you. Apparently,
I mean, his Chitoy would be
I
done.
called
if he
it
went
at the
for it.
beginning of this match. His style is Chitoy.
Problem with these Toitsuba is like, what do you cut now? Because it's very hard to figure out.
Well, I mean, at this point, you've cut your 7 pairs, so you just keep cutting 7 pairs. Like,
Well, I mean, I know that, but the trouble with a pair of hand with 5 pairs or 4 pairs is you don't have a whole lot of variety, right? So it's harder to figure out what to cut. Unless those pairs are explicitly safe, and there's 2 Riichis on the table.
I mean, why not just look at the stream and realize you can't deal in if you even if you tried?
If we were doing that, they would be cheating, unfortunately. There's a third tune.
Oh no, you should have gone for Daisongen.
Yeah, this is a Toitsuba. I think Andres the only one with a fairly normal weight, but everyone's holding
Yeah.
a lot of it. Like the 6s are completely held. Kelvin has a pair of them, and Melissa has a pair of them.
So it's just a matter of who could sumo the Torah first.
Yeah, because the other players are certainly not cutting it.
What a great game this is. There's only 2 of them. They only have 2 outs left. Oh my god.
I don't
And they're
remember what was
trying to
cut. Josh
close
might be
in.
considering how to get into 10 pie to keep his Oya.
Yeah. They're really closing in on the last 4 turns, though. It's going to be really hard for either of these two to sumo, right? Right? No commentator's blessing?
They gotta
Okay,
be
I
there. They
understand.
gotta be there somewhere. I don't. Are they dead walled? Are they in the hand? I don't know.
Well, there's 8 draws left, which means that's 22 tiles, and 2 of them have to be 3-mon. So, statistically speaking, they're dead walled. And unless something crazy happens in the last 2 turns, I think that's just going to be Ryokoku for 2 Tenpai. All right, last draw. Not sumo. Oh, and Calvin almost did an oopsie doops.
Calvin wanted another chance at it. So 2 of them are just in the dead wall, I guess, and
Yep. So
the other
completely
sixes
dead
were
weights.
the sixes were completely held
Yep.
by Calvin and Melissa.
2 Tenpai, and the top 3 remain so uncomfortably close to each other. But Andres does maintain his dealership. So that is going to be 1 Homba and 2,000 points on the table. So 35.
Enough for anybody to take the lead. Well, I mean, Josh would just want those points, but if any of the
Yeah.
Melissa or Andres win it, there's more points in the middle than Calvin's lead.
8,000 plus 35 is 11. If Josh takes it directly off of Calvin, he takes first.
Oh yeah, I mean we're not done with the game yet. Anyway, I was just talking in general. Anybody would.
I mean, yeah, just
go
but
for
as
those
a
points.
general thought experience, Mongon off of Calvin is enough to take first
yes,
by like 100 points, I believe.
Yeah.
Right, 3 Sodor, one of them is in Andres's hands.
Oh, you've been doing more Nomi League. What's the highest number of Homba that have stacked up in a Nomi League game?
I believe Julian got 6 before, or maybe it was Weibin.
A quick 9K.
Yeah, I know it's been enough to get the red stripe on the Rex.
Okay.
So it's at least 5.
Yep. Okay, Kelvin taking the Haku quickly here. Shapes aren't great, but there's ways to pawn, which is helpful.
Yeah, shapes aren't great, but you're open and there's 3,500 on the table, and you're Oya, and you want to keep that running.
It's a bit troublesome that the tiles to pawn are 1-2 so when 1-2 so is on the table already, and they're both Dora accepting. It's pretty hard. They're actually pretty hard to pawn, where in most cases they would be much easier.
That's Ishan 10 for Calvin. And the one so seem firmly lodged into Melissa and Andres's hands right now.
Opportunity to change it up here, though. You can either, okay, he's going to try to prioritize being able to pawn. Now there comes that will be a Tenpai then. 2-5 pin to just get what's in the middle.
Two of them are in Melissa's hand, 2 in Josh's.
The concerning part is that Josh will eventually have to cut 1 unless he can find.
Oh, that's rough. I mean, you could stall it a little bit with the 7-mon cut, or 7 so also works.
I mean, it's there's possible ways to be saved here. 4 pin, 3 pin, 5 pin, picking up any of those, 6 pin, picking up any of those would be all right.
Atsu is at least once out. I can see it at the very edge of the screen there.
Stevenmon goes out, yep. But I think any other upgrade Josh is going to deal in there. That might save him. But he's still he's headless, so he has to either commit the 4-mon, this 4-so, 3-mon, or 5-mon to his pair.
Yeah, that he's not out of the woods yet, but that is far more likely he does not cut it now.
So that leaves, if I'm counting right, 4 tiles left for Calvin. But he's the only one Tenpai.
Melissa has 2 of the 2s already. She's also probably considering a Chi toy maybe here now. That's their 4th pair. You could get away with cutting like the 8-pin or something if you want to try it for a Chi toy. Oh, there you go. That is Tenpai now, and it is Sanshoku Tanyao Dora 1, so you can even Dama this if you want. That's the Mangan Josh needs.
So does.
Oh, he's gonna Riichi and not take the Sanshoku. Interesting.
So that brings him down to Riichi Tanyao Doro 2?
Riichi Tanyao Dora. Oh yeah, he does have a Dora. It was already Tanyao Sanshoku Dora 2, so you could Dama that and the Sumo Atane. If you cut the 5. Maybe he doesn't like the look of the 5-mon. I can't see what the board looks like. You don't have a top-down cam, sadly.
That complicates things for Melissa as well, because I don't think she has anything safe. At least guaranteed. The Chun is looking the most safe if she wants to fold.
4 is Gambutsu, so... Yeah, I'm a bit surprised about the 4 cut there. I don't know if the 5 just looks terrible or what, but I don't think you could get me to give up Sanshoku. I would be Damaing it, though.
It's very possible that he doesn't see it.
Possible, yeah.
All right, and there's 2 of the 6-pin that Josh is waiting for. So Melissa's just kind of holding to everyone's weights right now. Meanwhile, Calvin has to consider whether or not he wants to deal, because he only has Nomi, if I'm recalling correctly.
Yeah, but he's also got a 4-tile hand. There's not a lot that's explicitly safe.
True.
I could.
Oh man.
Change it. You can change it if you jam the 2. You can fold if the 2 passes. I can't tell what he's done.
Yeah, he cuts the 2-so. So if he wants to fold, he could continue to cut that.
Melissa is Ishanten for Chitoi again. Well, maybe she was never Ishanten, but now she is.
Yeah, but I think she's folding. She just cut the Chun, so
yeah. But she was never Tenpai. She can now just oops her way into Tenpai basically because she's kept drawing pairs while folding.
Look, back in Chicago, I managed to fold myself into Chinitsu Tenpai, so anything's possible.
And the 4 she's already cut once, so she can't really hold on to that. I think she cut it on the first turn of the Riichi, right?
Yes, she cut it on the first turn of the Riichi.
So she could just cut it again, but it's also kind of tricky.
Kind of bad. Like, her situation's not great.
Is Pei just not out, I'm guessing? There's 2 held.
Pei's not out. And now Calvin's nervous about this. But he kind of doesn't have any other choice right now, unless he wants to.
He could just cut all of his 2s. Yeah. He could just cut all of his 2s, but he's trying to.
I think he wants to Tenpai, or to just sneak a win.
That is still no. That's not Melissa's hand. That is a lot of pairs being drawn this time too. So where are the 6s? I haven't really been paying attention. Andres doesn't have any of them.
2 in Josh's hand, I think. There's 2 in someone's hand.
Melissa's probably because Josh
Yeah,
is
oh yeah,
playing
it's Melissa's.
They are.
And then
That's it. I mean,
both
all else
of
are thrown.
yeah,
Oh, one
that's
is in
it.
the pond. One is in the pond.
Yeah, those 2 pins, 2 of them were held by Melissa, and then 2 of the 5 pins were held by Josh, I believe is the situation. But for Calvin, that's going to be a Haku Nomi hand with 1 Homba and 3 sticks on the table.
No, I cleared it out. Josh dealt in. I was too busy trying to find the 6-pin, but yeah, Josh apparently drew
Yep.
the remaining 2 5s while in Riichi. This is
Pretty good hand
nice.
for Calvin. It's
Melissa's
unfortunately
got
not double east, but like
Melissa's
it's
got
still
double
fast.
south pair. I feel like every hand we watch is just a bunch of people having a ton of pairs. I
Yeah.
don't know why that is right now. Dora's four so rather. Sorry, that makes us all the better. Kevin's got Dora 3 and
Melissa pawns the double south. She's gonna have a really fast hand, this hand. I'm just also not looking that slow. I think the only one without a fast callable hand is Josh.
Melissa's Tenpai 1-4. Four so's the Dora. I don't know if there's a 4 so available. 3 of them are held at least.
Yeah, but you're also not going to see anyone cut the 4 so it's going to be the 1 so if it's a deal in.
Oh yeah.
And considering how early this Tenpai is, it's actually pretty likely that it comes out if someone draws it in the next few turns. That's an easy pawn for Calvin.
It's also Ishanten, but no real head yet. It's got the Anko and that Nakabukure shape. Good pickup there. Also,
Nakabukure for Josh.
2 Nakabukure is Ishanten, but it's headless, so it's not really what you want to see.
And now Calvin can upgrade it to the Penton if he cuts the 7-9.
He could also just cut the 7 so there, but not really efficiency you want.
Yeah, I mean it's a head, but you have to cut Dora. It's really bad.
Yeah, that's why I was like, you don't really want it. You don't want to cut the Aka.
Oh, the backfire.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Unluckers there for Calvin.
It may have saved him the trouble though, because if he cut the 7 instead, and then you either have to be Nakabukure on Dora as his weight, like, or cut it and then deal into Melissa. So even though he wants to win this hand, that backfire might be a small blessing if he can find a way to utilize the extra 4. Still not Tenpai, still no head.
That's not Tenpai, but it's still better because you could still cut down that Anko to a pair.
It's Anko headless now, so
that's also chance for pin for. Is that guaranteed pin for? Oh,
nope, the one so came out. It's double south for 2000. That puts Melissa in second place by herself, and she gets the all last dealer.
And I believe there is no Agariyame, so if she does win, she has to keep playing. I believe the deal-in was on Andres. I'm seeing 2,900 points in his tray.
Not a bad starting hand there. We see Josh with the double south pair. No Dora. The Dora, well, the Dora is 8-mon. Now it's changed. No, they're mochi on south. Lovely times for everyone. Oh gosh, everyone's got pairs of honors everywhere.
Oh my god.
This might be a Honitsu attempt. I don't know. Heaven probably just wants to end the game, and he is North Seed, so running away with first seems like a totally good enough plan here.
Yeah, I mean, we are playing with Oka, and with Oka, like that top spot is very big. That's a 50 point. That's 50 points to your team. So even getting a small first is still way better than like taking a good second.
Is the plus 50 after the Oka, or is it a 50-20 Uma?
I will refer you to the N
The
League
rules
hosts.
page.
I believe according to the rules, if I'm remembering the slides before the game correctly, it is supposed to be a 25,000 point start.
Okay.
And Max is still running away with the game in table 2.
Vinci is not going down without a fight, though, clearly.
No, absolutely not, but I think he's going to need another Yakuman in South 3 in order to take it. I'm just holding on to the Khan of 3P. I really want to see someone Kanchan on 3P so he could con it and then just ruin their life.
Slight upgrade there. Okay, we've got a call here from Kelvin, and he's going to go
Antozuki for Pei Nomi.
Could be Pei Chanta as well, or Chanta Nomi. He's got an outlaw. He doesn't need that. Good draw for Josh. There's just a much better block than 1-2. Could also delay with 9 or 3.
I think the 9 is better there just because the 3 gives you a floater to improve your
Yeah, then you can get rid of the penchant completely. Yeah, this could be a Chanta as well. It doesn't have to have the other tile. That doesn't have to have pay to make it. Well, you use the floater. I guess it's better than 1-3. It's a little bit better than 1-2.
Technically better than Penchon.
It's probably, I don't know what he's thinking about dropping the penchant, or yeah, he's going to go 6 block, and because usually you would not be unhappy to Riichi non-Shabo here with your double south, but it's Mochi Mochi, so.
Yep, there's Calvin's Pei. He is now Ishanten for... Oh, he wants the Chanta as well. He's going full greed.
Melissa got 10 pi, so she's taken 3 Mon Kanchan Riichi. It's Riichi Nomi, but...
Hey, if you need points, you need points. There's always a chance for Ura.
I mean, she just gets to go again anyway, if she's in the lead or not. She's going again. Honestly, really only Kelvin in any position to stop this, and that's if he wants to
yeah, but like technically he's pushing a 1-han hand into an Oya Riichi. That could lose him the lead.
2-han, pay Chanta, but it's just not good.
Yeah.
Well, he can throw the West pair away now if he wants to play it safe.
Josh, meanwhile, staring at the 1 chance 9, so if he wants to fold, if he wants to push,
I don't know where the 8 is. If the 8's in the pond, it looks a lot better because it's Kabe, but I don't know where the last 8 so is. Oh, it's in Calvin's Chi, so it's Kabe.
And now Calvin has to make a choice of whether or not he wants to play this hand or not. If he wants to fold out, it's Sha. But if he wants to play 8-pin, probably it's Suji to the last tile.
Maybe just pushes the 1. Sotogawa to the 2, but Melissa gets
and Melissa Tsumos for Riichi, Tsumo, Nomi.
1,000 all.
1,000 all. That puts her up at 34. 5 something, so looking a lot better for her to take top.
Doesn't look too bad. I think it looks a little bit faster than her last hand. Well, her last hand started out pretty good. It was just a lot of slow draws, so it's very similar.
Yeah, you're what 2 cuts away from Tanya, but unless you get or call the 6 so, it will be Otozuke.
Mm-hmm. Medora's 4-pin. Josh, that picks up like an Ipeco like shape, but doesn't necessarily need to be there. What does he need to pick up to get out of 4th here?
I believe
Hanuman
it's
Sumo.
Hanuman Sumo or Mangan Direct. No, not even Mangan. That's 12,000. Oh yeah, Mangan on Andres. Unless it's Shitoi Direct on Andres for
64.
yeah, 64.
Another little
Wait,
extra
no,
block there.
with Homba.
With Homba, I think 52 would be enough because the direct would make it 67.
Yeah. And if it's Mangan Sumo, that means he goes up 95 and Andres would go down 25, which I think is enough. Actually, I think Mangan Sumo is enough for 3rd with the Homba.
Yeah, okay. I think they'd actually be tied. Be Simmons and Manga.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Because he drops 25 to 25.9 and Josh goes up 95 to 25.9. Yep.
Oh, that'd be so funny. I kind of want to see this happen now. Why'd you tell me this?
It's forbidden knowledge, I guess. Pretty good pickup, but this improves the shapes. Let's see where is it? Most is Ishanten. Josh's hand is just kind of slow.
No, but he picks up Dora.
That's
So if you
Dora. That's not the
can.
Dora. Dora's 4. Dora's 4.
Oh my god, I keep doing this.
The table's still going on at South 4 in the other game, and Max has a few less points, but it looks like they were all taken away by Josh.
Cody still not having a great time, I see. Very unlucky for him to have this be his debut.
There's a Dora.
There's the
Now there's some
Dora.
improvement.
Now he has a nice Nakabukure, and he's Mochi Mochi on Haku with Andres. But
Andres
neither of them
Andres
yeah, neither of them particularly need it because both of them can use it as their pair.
Andres can use it as his pair, but he's open, so he absolutely must have it.
Ah,
Otherwise, he
I
wouldn't be
see.
winning. He called a chi to utilize an Aka, but it shifted away from being Sanshoku, so he has a 3-4-5 over there. So it's not
Okay, well,
this is going nowhere without the Haku. It can be Tenpai.
he can still get Haite Nomi. I don't understand the problem here.
People just don't win stupid Yakunomi. You should know this.
What do you mean? Haite Nomi is my favorite hand. It's the I could have just gotten K10, but instead I'm taking everyone's points.
I was more alluding to the recent dumb Rinshan Nomi.
Oh. Yeah, that's I mean
He doesn't have a Rinshan chance here, but people win stupid Yakunomi all the time.
Oh, okay. I have seen Rinshan Nomi, but like those are so hard to get. Haite Nomi, I feel like, is far more normal than Rinshan Nomi.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's the still not Tenpai, but it's the Peiko shape.
Peiko.
Could be Rion Peiko if you pick up a Dora.
That would be so funny.
That'd be a very good way to have a comeback hand.
Still, I think the 1/9 are the tiles to cut here.
Could Tanyao pivot, I guess, just to get out of the situation if you think you're Mochi Mochi? Okay.
Very least he's going to cut up one of the safer pairs out of his hand.
Calvin Ishanten. I think Melissa's been Ishanten this whole time. Yeah, I can go headless now, so even better. Oh, the 9 came back. No Chitoy. Tenpai.
Andres might be realizing now that he's Mochi Mochi, or at the very least, he's not getting Haku. So he might be folding out. He's still Ishanten with not great value.
Is Calvin
And-
Riichi this to try to end the game or not? It's five pin or you have to cut the door out of weight on the other way.
Definitely a bit of a thinker. I can't believe the other table is still in all last. We got that notification like 5 minutes ago.
I don't see anybody moving back there either. Somebody's taking a long think. Okay, so he's Dama on 5 pin. Has to sumo.
I mean, you could use that 7-mon to get into
the
the
7
Rankan
mon
weight.
the 7 mon actually opens up a path to Sanshoku as well. 789 Sanshoku is very much a thing that can happen. Is Josh a 3-so believer in case this is a Chitoy?
I don't know. I don't think he subscribes to either cult.
Okay. Apparently just a little sussed out by it based on the way he discarded it.
Yeah, we're definitely getting into the territory where everyone's kind of scared because they're not Tenpai and it's turn 12. Turn 12.
And meanwhile, Calvin's the only one that's Tenpai, but his Tenpai is just terrible. Oh, he chose to Riichi. Karagiri Reach. See how much Melissa cares if she gets a good draw. That 9-mon that Melissa would love to have for her own hand, Josh keeps throwing over and over again. Will she chi it for Sanshoku? Yes, she will. Okay.
Yeah, she wants
So it's
points.
6-9.
Melissa
Well,
wants
she's
points.
also Tenpai, so 6-9. Here we are, and she can only win on the 9.
And she doesn't know it, but that's safe. Just go ahead and cut it back for Tenpai.
I feel like if you call chi, you're just basically committed to pushing until the end at this point.
I mean, yes, but she still has a lot of tiles in her hand.
Mm-hmm.
So if any of them come out, she could go back to folding, but like just push. It gets you into first. And I think it's mildly
Oh, Melissa
unlikely.
can't take that.
That's for A10.
Oh, she
And
sumoed
that's
it.
sumo.
Sanshoku Nomi for 1,000 all, I guess? No.
1,000, but she
Yeah,
gets
it'd be 500 all because
6
1,000
on the
all.
table, so that puts her in top. A very uncomfortable top because Calvin could still take it back, but top is top.
I definitely like that maneuvering there, try to just find a way to win the hand.
And starting off with a pretty decent hand again. It has a lot of honors in it, but the shapes are there. No Dora though. Haku Dora, none of them are in her hand. So
That's
she can't
real,
really
it's real
run-
uncomfortable when you don't have a very big lead for Haku to beat
Yeah,
Dora.
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Josh's
it's-
hand is pretty speedy.
And
looking.
I'm pretty sure with the Homba, any win from Calvin puts him back at top.
Yeah, because he can only win 1,000 points, so he'd win 4,000, so he'd be back in the lead. Even a Nomi is enough to overtake.
Andres, meanwhile, I believe a Mangan Sumo will do.
With those Homba, yeah. Manatsumo overtakes with those Homba. Because normally it would close a 12,000 point gap with the dealer, and Melissa's only barely, it's 13,000 up, but the home more than cover that.
Gotcha. But with Haku Dora, it's and 1 and 2 people's hands. It's gonna be hard to just build a natural Mongun. So they're gonna have to do, or at least Andres is gonna have to do some work for his hand. Calvin could just do anything he wants. And Josh, looking pretty solid for an Itsu, just missing the 1 and 9.
I don't know what that cut was. Definitely not the most efficient decision, but he may be eyeballing even just getting rid of everything and going for Honitsu with the Haku.
Being down in 4th, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
it's reasonable. It's perfectly fine. I think we have Chitoi Ishanten, was that for Kelvin? He either had 4 or 5 pairs at the moment. I don't know how many.
I'll have to go back and count. Seven? When you don't really have a confirmed pair, that
Yep.
Nakabukude isn't looking that great.
5 pairs. Now he has an
1, 2,
Anko.
3, 4, 5. Yeah. And Kansai Chitoi is on. It is terminal.
Does it count for any more, or is it just?
It doesn't count for any more, but there's a bounty for it, so he could raise the pot by doing it.
Okay.
And now one just kind of has to commit to a pair.
It's gonna go for Toy Toy. He's thinking about calling. Okay. He can't win on the 6. He's technically 10 pi on it, but
yeah, I think that's a reasonable call to make because you don't really need Chitoi or Tsuanko even if he really wants to run up the score. Just getting that top with Toy Toy is going to be enough.
mm-hmm. Really looking for anything into pawn here. Okay, he's just going to get it out of the hand right now. So he's no longer 10 pi. All right, there's the Itsu. Backbone all completed.
Yeah, just has to get rid of that 1-2 so if he wants to also go for Honitsu. But given that there's already 1 Haku cut, it's going to be really hard to get that Honitsu.
There's also 1 non-cut already, so you might just be able to cut non here if you don't cut 1 2-so. He's going for it. He's going all the way.
Yeah, he's all in on going for value. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would have been 5 pairs if he didn't cut that 7 mon.
He's still got shapes. All of his pairs being adjacent makes it a normal hand completely plausible.
Yeah.
The problem with Josh is lone non and lone Haku. There's one in Melissa's hand too. It makes it look pretty bad.
Yeah. Josh's hand is gonna be like, yeah, it's bad. Yeah.
You just got to hope to draw some more Pinzu at this point.
3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7.
You could cut away one of the Manzu blocks here and just reduce the hand.
I would go for one of the pairs to go for Tom Peen, I think.
It's just that there's an overlap. You can look at the shapes as 3, 4, 4, and then the rest of the Sozu as 3 blocks, and then you have a pair. The only solid pair in that hand now, the way he's got it, is the 3-pin.
It's a lot harder to analyze these hands when I only get to see them for a couple seconds before I have to move on to the next.
Now we're just looking at Pinfu Itsu, which is perfectly fine too. That's a Mangan. Yeah, because the only pair in that hand really is the.
Yep, and now Calvin is Tenpai on 705 Mon for Toy Toy Nomi. Although I do believe that should go to 40 Fu because of the Anko of the 9P.
Yes. Now you drew a 5.
I mean, you could cut Haku here. It's Dora, but it's the safest. Oh, no, he's just gonna deal in. And that's Calvin taking top for Toy Toy Nomi 240, so 2,600 points plus
50.
3,000, so 5,600 points. Yeah, is that mathing?
Yeah, it is mathing, yes.
All right, and that puts him at 41,000 something or 42,000 something, which overtakes Melissa. So that's a Sours victory followed by Doroneko, Falcons, and finally the Triads. And is table 2 still going?
You can see how big that top is there, the 57 versus 15 for a very similar score.
Oka's big man.
The table is apparently still going, or is that final? That doesn't change. I'm assuming that might be final, but maybe they're still playing. I have no idea.
I don't know. If we could get a word from staff on whether that's the final score, I would love that. It would also be very entertaining if it was still going on. Oh no, it looks like okay, if
They're
that's
typing in the
Max
scores. I don't
winning,
know if that's done or they're.
I'm assuming Max won a hand, which makes that the final score. But it's kind of hard to tell.
Just cleared off the screen. It looks that's probably final. I don't think. There, it's back on the screen.
Yep. So that looks like an Opie Dopes victory with Yakuman falling behind, then the Destroyers, and finally the Penguins.
Well, Yakuman have to be celebrating a little bit because they officially got the first Yakuman in N League. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think even though they got 2 seconds, like you still take that victory, especially given how rough their last season was. And looks like we also have a floating point error. So congratulations on Destroyers for getting like 1/10 billionth of a point. I'm sure that'll make a huge difference in the final standings. Otherwise, that is Mahjong, folks. This has been Jersey Mike and some cactuar we found on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Please play Riichi City. They're giving us a lot of money. Do we have any sponsors that we have to shout out? Our socials are at NYC Riichi Nomi. Please look at our TikToks and increase our viewership. Please watch our YouTube videos. We're working really hard on them. Please watch our YouTube shorts. Bye.
I'm just excited to see more because, like I said, the graphics and the interface just looks better every season, and it's just great to see what Riichi Nomi is doing with this.
So shout outs to Julian for making all this for us. They're saying cut whenever, but I don't know when to stop talking, so I'm gonna keep talking until they just close us out completely. How is everyone doing today? Make some noise for N League.
Right. Well, I can sign us off then. This has been Steve, also known as Zell, Cactuar on the side of the road per Jersey Mike, and we saw some exciting games today. First Yakuman in N League, which is awesome to see, and then just some really good play from the second table. I thought some complicated hands and some maneuvering that I thought was just really well thought out. So